hopefully I am back now. And let me check my audio. Yep. Okay. That sounds about right. Okay. All right. So wait, I'm centered here, but I feel like I'm not going to be centered on my magic stuff. I may have to slightly move something. But anyway, so looks like Chan has brought the trick list up. And also has put something in the queue. Yeah, hold on. Let me just switch to this. Okay, this is not straight. This would be straight. But today I want it to be here. So we're going to move this camera. Hang on. Alright guys, don't do this while you're streaming. Do it before you're streaming. Okay. And then I need to make it look straight. Okay, how's that? Is that straight? That's better? Okay. Alright, there we go. Okay, next let's go ahead and pull up the, if anybody isn't used to the new streamer song list, even though I don't, it's my trick list. I use it for my trick list, so. Let me see here. Here, here, okay. There we go. All right, cool. Oh. Okay, yeah, let's pin, okay, sorry. I accidentally unpinned a thing. Okay, all right, there we go. Sorry, my fault. All right, thank you for the 20 stream watch streak, GipsonLens, and welcome back to Chan. Eyes from Charlie's Beats. Let me go ahead and eyes from GipsonLens and Nam as well from me. All right, let me see here. Is the queue open? Requests are currently closed. Wait, does the major command not work? SRS on. It looks like you did it, but it didn't do anything. Oh, because I couldn't sync mods last time. That might be why. Alright, well they're on now. Yeah. It's so not your fault, it's a permission thing. I don't know if they fixed it. I didn't check. Alright guys, for anyone who doesn't know, hi, my name is Nam, known as Crazy Agent spelled this weird way. Welcome to Sleight of Hand Sunday, where I'll do Sleight of Hand card magic. And actually, I've been doing some other not card magic, just other magic as well. But I treat my magic stream like a music stream, except instead of having songs that you can request, I have tricks you can request. So trick list is pinned currently in chat. For those of you guys who are here, also, actually, let me, before I forget, thank you so much to RBZ2005 for the raid earlier. So let me just go ahead and give another shout out to RBZ. Guys, you're not following RBZ. RBZ Variety Gamer was last seen doing a demo of, let me see, all our broken parts, seems like. And guys, if you're not following our friends and mods, let me just get all the shout outs out of the way. Guys, you're not following a friend and mod. Andrew Ward, thank you so much for the resub. How's it going, Andrew Ward? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Guys, you're not following our friend and mod Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Guys, you're not following our friend Charlie's Beats, please give Charlie's Beats a follow. If you're not following our friend and mod GipsonLens, please give GipsonLens a follow. Let me see here. If there's anybody that I missed, let me know. Guys, you're not following Galvos the Green. I'm not sure if you're currently streaming Galvos, but you know, Galvos has streamed before. And all right. Anyway, Andrew Ward, thank you so much for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. While we are here, let's go ahead and let's see. Hold on, I've just pulled out the Twitch deck. And we are looking for... I cannot believe I cannot find it. Wait, Andrew War, have you signed the new Twitch deck? I knew you signed the old one. Have you not signed the new one? Two of Diamonds, you're hunting for it? That's what I was, but... Yeah, you signed the old Twitch deck. You haven't signed the new one. So the question is... here's the Two of Diamonds. I was like, wait a second, didn't you sign a new card yet? No. This is a new Twitch deck. So certainly your name is in this one. Yeah, this is the Twitch deck 2023-2026. This one we started earlier this year when this one filled up. So the question is, do you want to keep the Two of Diamonds or do you want to sign another one? Let me know and we'll sign that one. Oh no, that's what I get for my intermittent viewership. We better keep the Two of Diamonds? Alright, okay, cool. That will that will help my mental... Yeah, for a second I was like, wait a second. Alright, excellent. Two of Diamonds. Also, while you guys are here, you guys will get to see me put on cheating gloves, which is this stuff. So, alright. Thank you, Andrew War, for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. And, let's see. Andrew War, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 R's just to make sure. Well, 5 R's after the Andrew. Yep. There's it's like how many R's are in strawberry? Mike 2600, welcome in. How's it going, Mike? Good to see you. How are you doing? All right. Let's see here. And Drew. War. Uh-oh. I was not ready for this. I don't even have cheating gloves yet. Okay, alright. Who kicked that off? Alright, thank you so much for kicking off a hype train. Alright guys, if you didn't know, when we have a hype train here, we're just going to have to do magic as fast as possible. And I have to do it with my fingers, uncheated gloved. So, alright. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start with Andrew War, newly signed Two of Diamonds. So, Andrew War, I don't know if you know, but you're now connected to the Two of Diamonds. If we take the Two of Diamonds, place it into the middle of the deck, if I snap, that will bring Andrew War's Two of Diamonds back up from the middle up to the top. Yes, give us fast magic, says Mike 2600. Alright, let me go ahead and put it back in the middle of the deck. And if I show you the top card before I snap, that's not Andrew War's signed Two of Diamonds. That's some other card. But if I snap, that will bring it from the middle all the way up to the top. You can even see it travel with that little ripple from the corner because there it is. Some people think that magicians will swap out a card, and to that I would say sometimes you're suspicious, but let me go ahead and leave it sticking out. You'll know that it's not, I haven't swapped it out because you can see Andrew War's quote-unquote signature. It's, in this case, signature. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, put it in the middle of this packet, grab this whole packet, put it in the middle of this packet. Importantly, some people think I had it on the top, some people think I had it on the bottom, but if I go ahead and I snap, that will bring it from the middle back up to the top. Now, let me go ahead and leave Andrew War's signed card out just for a second. So it is obviously unique. We did just sign it. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it into the middle of the deck like here, let's say. And then we're going to go ahead and shuffle. And shuffle. Now, I'm not sure if you know, sometimes if you let a spectator shuffle, they might do sadistic things such as shuffle face up into face down cards. And in this case, let's pretend we're going to simulate, I mean, I got to tell the story somehow, right? So we're going to simulate them shuffling cards face up into face down, and then we're going to go ahead and push the two halves into each other like this. And I don't know if you can tell, but now a bunch of the cards are face up, face down, left and right, all over the place. But yeah, just to show you how really messed up it is, we have a back to a front, a front to a back, and then we have a back to a back. Yeah, so that's, yeah, anyway. But we're going to go ahead and fix this. Let's go ahead and... I don't know if you can tell, but every single card is now facing in the same direction. Every single card except for one. And that is indeed, if you didn't guess, our friend Andrew War's 2 of diamonds. Alright, let me go ahead and find all of the other 2s, and let's go ahead and do that and this. Okay, so I want to do something interesting with the 2s. Now, all of these 2s I want to turn face up, but only 1 2 at a time. However, witchcraft, says Andrew War. If I turned it over like that, that would be cheating because that's just, I flipped it over. So now I'm going to give this a magical twist by holding a packet like this. And by giving it a magical twist, I'll turn up the 2 of spades. Now don't look away, this is going to get people. Now if I hold the packet, give another magical twist, 2 of spades turns face down, 2 of hearts will turn face up. I know it's a little bit weird, but there it is. Is that weird? That is a little bit weird. Okay, so hold the packet, give another magical twist, 2 of clubs. Now, some people are like, whoa, whoa, you have to get one more. And to that I would say, yeah, there is one more. It's the 2 of diamonds. But I think because it was used in the last 2 tricks, and we're going so fast, it's a little bit tired. But let me just show you all of the cards are currently face down. Even if I give it a magical twist, it's still a little bit tired. It doesn't want to turn itself face up. But actually, I don't know if you guys know, if we just go ahead and use the plunger will have the power to turn over Andrew War's card. 1, 2, 3. There it is. And that, my friends, is another trick. Okay, alright, so once again, Andrew War's card is here. Please follow. I love a tiny plunger, says Mike 26. I know, right? So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and leave the red 2s over here. So, here's 1, here's 2. And we're just going to go ahead and do some magic right now. And I've just swapped them because you believe that the red 2s are over here and you thought that Andrew War's card is here, but no, these are now the black 2s and these are the red 2s and Andrew War's card is here. And that, my friends, is a hype train. Thank you so much for that hype train. All right. Thank you kindly for the mind blown, Andrew War. And once again, thank you so much for the resub for 20 months, as well as kicking off that hype train. Oh yeah, and now you guys get to watch me put on my cheating gloves. So this is what I call cheating gloves. Doing some sleights without it requires a little bit more concentration, and there's also a risk of exposure. So, but I managed to get through it. I did do some of the sleights that are made easier by it, but okay. All right, let me go ahead and catch up a little with chat. I think I got every message, but I wasn't sure. Let's see here. Let's see. Mike 2600 says, "Been a minute, doing a-okay over here." Well, good to hear, Mike. I'm glad you're doing okay. Oh yes, and long time no see, says Chan the Magic Man, presumably to Mike. And then Andrew Hart, and Mike says, "Give us fast magic." You just got some. I think if you wait an hour and then we kick off another hype train, you can get it again. I think hype trains are limited to once per hour still, but yeah. Mike 2600 says, "Shuffle and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle for Juan." Yes. Rest in peace, Juan. Yes. Yeah, actually, I should probably make an announcement about that. So, But let me just finish up catching up with the chat here. Witchcraft says Andrew War, and thank you for the mind blown and the claps. Mike 2600, I love I love Tiny Plunger, and thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, and for the mind blown, Andrew War. All right. So, all right. We have very, very sad magic news in the world. And for anybody who does not know, we recently lost one of the best magicians known in the world, and his name was Juan Tamariz. So Juan Tamariz, Spanish magician, one of the close-up greats, died at the age of 83. And I actually found out Mike 2600 actually messaged me. We have like a magician's chat, and he messaged me, and I was like, "What? No way!" And I immediately went to read all of the articles and everything, and I'm like, "No." So, but yes, if so Mike 2600 was saying shuffle and shuffle and shuffle because Juan Tamariz would do a bunch of his tricks, and he would get other people to shuffle the cards and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. So, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. I see we do have a few tricks in the queue, so let's go ahead and get started. But oh yeah, if anybody want to look up Juan Tamariz, that's the name, and you can just look up like Juan Tamariz on like on YouTube or something. I will let you know this for anybody who doesn't know who Juan Tamariz is. When you first see him perform, you might think like he's a silly magician, um, but he is like brilliant and a genius. Has created many tricks, written many books, has taught magic for many years. So don't let. This is one of those situations where it's like don't let. No, don't judge a book by its cover. Some people have also called him the Willy Wonka of magic. So, but anyway, all right. Sorry, I know I said all that during an ad break, but if you missed anything, uh, rest in peace, Juan Tamariz, and look him up, watch his tricks, and equate him to the Willy Wonka of magic. All right, so first thing in the queue is Keeper, requested by Chan the Magic Man. Thanks for that request, Chan. And I know I think there's a random one, but there's a good one to practice because I'm actually using it at my gig. So this is an original trick of mine based on the video game. So let me go ahead and set down a few piles. Adam07950, welcome in. How's it going? Crazy Asian is Willy Wonka of Twitch. I don't think I'm that silly, but thank you so much, Adam07950. By the way, Hawk6 Phoenix, welcome in. How's it going? Guys, you're now following our friends Adam07950 or Hawk6 Phoenix. Please give Adam07950 and Hawk6 Phoenix a follow. Hawk6 Phoenix says that purple top hat I see in his photos does look like Willy Wonka. Adam07950. I wanted to say Adam and Hawk6 Phoenix at the same time. And thank you so much for the gift sub to Hawk6 Phoenix. All right, so here, let me make a few piles. Now, these are going to represent various plants in the world of Keeper. Now, when you play Keeper, you start off as like an anthropomorphic lighthouse. And in order to really show you the anthropomorphic lighthouse, we're going to go ahead and use my lighthouse deck, which has a lighthouse on it. This deck was created by Emily Sleights 52. If you've ever come across a deck designer, maybe at a cardistry convention, magic convention. So here we have artwork of a lighthouse, and in the game Keeper, you play as a lighthouse, and one of the first abilities you get is to focus your light onto various elements in the environment. And when you do, the environment might change. And so, let's say you shine it on something like that doesn't interact with anything. So this plunger doesn't change. Look at the artwork of this, right? This is shining your laser light at the plunger. Plunger doesn't do anything. It doesn't change. But this particular plant, let's say this particular plant starts to move around, and originally it was only 1, 2, 3 feet tall, but now as it gets some more laser light, 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually if it gets a little bit more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it actually stops there, and you're like, ooh. Now if you like puzzle games, it is also a puzzle game. And thank you for this heat map. Let me go ahead and grab this. Delicious. Durkey Blaine, welcome in. How's it going, Durkey Blaine? Hawk6 Phoenix, thank you so much for the 7 stream watch streak. Greatly appreciate it. And thanks for getting that eat. Guys, oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know, GipsonLens is the composer of the song that I had for my hype train. So definitely give GipsonLens a follow and check him out if you want to see or hear his other originals as well. And also, GipsonLens is a software developer on Double Fine's team, which created the video game Keeper, which is what this trick is based on. And so here, you might go find something else in the environment to go ahead and interact with. And you're like, oh, here's another plant that will grow. It starts off as 3 feet, 1, 2, 3. But now it'll grow 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it'll grow one more time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Snowy City, welcome in. How's it going? Good to see you. And then finally, you're like, ooh, I think I'm going to be able to solve this puzzle. And you shine your lighthouse laser light. While I was playing the game, I played the game on stream. I called it Laser Eyes. And of course, this also starts off as 3, but then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 feet, and it'll grow finally to its 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet, and then you'll see things change in the environment where the plants will form a new path. In this case, it's going to look like a door, and you can walk through that door as the anthropomorphic lighthouse. And there we go. That is Keeper, the card trick, based on the video game, created by me, inspired by Keeper. There we go. Welcome in, Raiders! How's it going? We are being rated by Keo Demon 956. How's it going, Keo? I should probably wait until you're actually, if you can hear, just making sure before I say hello. But hello, welcome in, Raiders. Guys, you're not following our friend Keo Demon 956. Please give Keo Demon a follow. I'm bad at modding during my own stream. Oh, thank you for getting that, guys. All right, Keo, welcome in. How's it going? How's the stream? All right, I can mark as played Keeper. All right, there we go. Keo Demon says, oh yeah, did some Hades 2, took a break from War Robots Frontier. Gotcha. Yeah, I did see you were streaming, so I was like, okay, awesome, and you were playing Hades 2. So, Megadeth 633. Sup, crazy? How's it going, Megadeth? Keo, how did you do in Hades 2? Was it good? Nah, no. So I had a very, how should I say, it wasn't too close. It wasn't like nerve-wracking, but I was like a little nervous that it wasn't going to win my Hades 1 run earlier today. But spoiler, we did do it. So, Megadeth says, he died 1,000,000 times. It sounds like the Hades experience. Like, if you don't if you don't perish many times, you're not playing Hades the way it was intended. Kyo says, I successfully ran and failed another one. Gotcha. Well, welcome and thanks for bringing your community over here, Kyo Demon. Guys, you're not following our friend Kyo Demon. Kyo Demon, variety gamer, also resident Hades. I would say expert. So, but anyway, welcome in, and hopefully you guys are doing well. Good to see you. Just in time, we have a couple of tricks in the queue. We did have a hype train earlier today, but that's okay. We will do more tricks. So, Kyo, if there's a trick that you would like me to perform, feel free to request it. I know that the trick list might look a little bit different, but I think you can go into it and then there's a thing that you can click and it will be like queue or add to queue or something. So there you go. All right. So next up, we have a request from Mike2600, which, oh, I don't know if I gave you a shout out, Mike2600. Guys, you're not following our friend Mike2600. Mike2600 is also a Twitch streamer, is a DJ mostly, but has also been known to do sleight of hand magic on stream. And when he was doing it, he called it Sleight Night. So, but I've also met Mike2600 in real life, is also a magician. So there we go. All right. So this is called Troublebacker. Oh, and Mike, I'm going to let you know that the beginning of this is slightly different than the beginning of how other people do Troublebacker. So, all right, here we go. What we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 6 cards, and I just want to show you that 2 of them are red queens, and the rest are black spot cards. Now, the interesting thing about this is that these queens are very sneaky, and they're going to be able to get to places that we don't realize. And so here, let me just go ahead and just place these out just like this. Now, this queen is going to go from here back into this pile. I don't know if you saw that, but I can show you now that this queen has hopped back in to this pile. Now, everything over here is exactly as it seems. However, this other red queen is also pretty squirrely, and we'll be able to jump back into my hand, because now if I show you, here is the other queen. Now, what you may not realize is that these queens not only great at subterfuge, but they're also really great at camouflage, because you may have thought that these were all blue-backed cards. Well, these queens are actually red-backed. And that, my friends, is Troublebacker. All right. Thank you for the emotes, Mike2600. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man. And Snowy City says, trippy. Such trip, much E. Sorry, that's an adult joke right there. If you, Chan says, hey again, Snowy. So I don't know if when I read your name, Snowy City, I don't know if you've ever heard of a comic book slash TV show slash movie called Tintin. But Tintin is a character that we would, let's say, adventurer. What's his real? Is he really like a journalist or something? But anyway, he has a dog. He has a small white dog, and he named him Snowy. So that's so I would say about half of the time when I see your name, Snowy City, I think I think about Tintin and Snowy the dog. Ah, it's okay. Yeah, hopefully you are not offended by dogs. That's is what I'm saying. Snowy the dog is actually pretty cute in the show. when I watched the show. My dad told me that he watched, or sorry, that he read the comic when he was a kid. Yeah, Snowy City says I had no idea. Yeah, yeah. Tintin is like an old IP. I think it actually hit the public domain either last year or this year. But yeah, Tintin has been around like forever. So, all right. Next up, we have a request from Charlie's Beats, and so let's go ahead and perform that. So, first things first, we have a deck. They're all different. Some of them are signed, but I'm going to make a prediction. So let me go ahead and make a prediction. Let me see here. So here's what I want to predict. Let me see. I think we're going to predict maybe this one. So here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and make this prediction. Then we're going to need a card selected. So I will spread the deck. And if there's anybody who wants to make the selection, not sure if Charlie, you're currently on desktop and able to click, but feel free to click directly on the screen and we will have one card selected. I see this one right here being selected. So that is the heat map. So one thing that I need to tell you about this trick before we proceed with this trick is that what makes a perfect pair? So in this case, a perfect pair is a card that matches another card in color and in number. And so let me just give you an example. So here is the 8 of clubs. So the pair that would be perfect for the 8 of clubs would be another 8 that shares the color black. So it would be the 8 of spades. Now, here's your selection. And then here's my prediction. Now, I just want to show you what my prediction is, okay? So my prediction was the 7 of spades, oddly very close to the opposite of the 8 of clubs, but it's not exact, right? And so I just want to show you what you selected, and in order for this to be the perfect pair, this will need to be the other 7 that's also black, so it should be the 7 of clubs. And that, my friends, is a perfect pair. Also a lucky pair. And thank you for this heat map. Let's go ahead and grab that. Delicious! Mmm. Tastes spicy. All right, an ad break is incoming, so good news. I finished that before the ad break, so that's good. I won't start up the next trick until after the ad break is over. Thank you kindly for getting that. Eat GipsonLens, and thank you for the claps. Charlie's Beats, and thank you for that request. All right. And great timing. The ad break is in progress. There we go. Now, I just realized that... Do I have to open new decks? No, I don't have to open new decks. Wait a second. Okay, let me go ahead and do this. Okay, all right. Mike 2600 says, "Well, I missed my entire trick. I had to go take care of the dogs." Oh, Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. You can watch the VOD, or I can clip it for you later. I did give you some exposition about the trick. So anyway, when you watch it, the beginning of the trick is a little bit different than how it's normally done, and it's using a principle that I think. Let me just quickly show you. So, Mike 2600. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, right? But really, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. Or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So it's basically using this principle, but a little bit differently. Noted. 6, 7. I know, right? Okay. All right. So next up, we have a request from Keo Demon, our raider. Thank you so much for the request, Keo. 6, 7 says Charlie's Beats. All right. So, okay. First things first. Here, let's go ahead and give this a quick mix. And then, all right, Keo, if you are there, actually, Keo, are you watching on mobile or on desktop? We'll have to have somebody else select a card for you. So if, or if you just want to give me like a number between like 1 and 52. Let's go ahead and have one of the, both? Oh, okay. All right, Keo, if you're on desktop, if you can click directly on one of these cards, that will be your selection, all right? And so I think that's on this one right here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn my head, close my eyes, and show you guys what this card is. So closing my eyes, turning my head, I'll cough just for the joke. Take a look at that, make sure you know what it is. I'll give you a second. I don't think the lighting is weird because I set my stream setup. I'm going to turn it back face down. Okay. Is that face down? All right. Opening my eyes, turning my head. All right. Excellent. So let's just confirm. Somebody in chat have this card? Otherwise, this won't be as impressive. So before we do anything, I'll just make sure that somebody in chat has the card. And I will eat this heat map in the interim. So, delicious. All right. Okay, Keo has the card. Excellent, great. So now we're going to go ahead and lose the card into the deck, just like this. 1, 2, 3. Some people think magicians will keep a break and know the exact position of it, and in this case, I do not. But you know what we can do? I have this little plunger, actually. This plunger is really good at doing something really interesting, and you know, You know how when you have a toilet that needs cleaning, you pour some liquid into the toilet that might be of a strange color and that you know is not like naturally made from a human, then oh, that must be cleaning fluid. What color is that? It's blue, right? And so, look, this plunger is going to clean your card. And I don't know if you know, but if I spread the deck, the plunger has actually changed one of your cards to be a blue-backed card. All right, important question, Keo. What was the card? Go ahead and tell me what it is at this point, because, and then I'll show you that we knew, the plunger knew what it was the whole time. King of Hearts. Well, let me show you that this King of Hearts, this blue-backed card, is indeed the King of Hearts. This could have been signed, just so you know. All right. So here's what we're gonna do now, though. Yeah, I know. What says Chan the Magic Man? Oh, but the plunger can do it again. Okay, and so let's go ahead and get another card selected. So let's go ahead and have another card selected. So let's go ahead and have chat click on any one of these. So, Kyo, if you are still there, we'll show you the power of the plunger, okay? The power of the plunger for this, I swear, is going to... Okay, so all the way down here. All right, so right here? Okay. All right. Okay, so now this is your newly selected card, okay? I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes, turn my head, and we'll show you that card as well, okay? So here, take a look. Make sure you know what that is. We'll give you a second. We'll turn it back down. Okay, opening my eyes, turning my head back. Did you guys get the second card? And in the interim, let me eat this heat map right here. All right, you got it? Okay, excellent. So now we're going to go ahead and unleash the power. Oh, wait, actually, let's go ahead and lose the card into the middle of the deck. Just like this. And now we will unleash the power of the plunger. The cleaning power of the plunger to unleash the blue liquid into the toilet. This is such, by the way, this is like the weirdest story I've ever told for this trick. Like, ever. Hey, plunger, did you not put enough cleaning solution? Hold on. I think the plunger needs to, all right, plunger, go ahead and put the cleaning stuff in there, okay? Okay, hold on. Guys, no, okay, seriously, can somebody tell me what the second card was? Because I'm not seeing a blue card in the toilet. Eight of Spades says Chan the Magic Man. All right. Wait, that's really interesting though, because hold on. If I if I if I just look though, there's no Eight of Spades here. There's only one blue card. It's right here. Oh, okay. All right, plunger. Good job. You still did your job. It just, you know what? Always read the instructions on cleaning products in the bathroom, because if you use it the wrong way, it could be bad for you. So, all right, there we go. Keo Demon says, "What? No! Amazing." Uh, we need a tiny plunger emote. Oh, yeah. Do I not have a plunger emote? No. Okay. All right. You know, hold on. Let me make a note of that. I should probably put that down somewhere, and then I will. Let me make a note to make a plunger emote. Stream notes. Here we go. Make plunger emote. Okay. Wait. Do we want a regular plunger emote, or do we want a plunger animated emote? I'll give you one guess as to what the animated emote would do. Obviously, it would plunge. Come on. Obviously. Animated sustain. Yes, right? Obviously. All right. Great idea. By the way, Chan, that was a great idea. So thank you for suggesting the plunger. I think people have mentioned it before, but I don't know if I've written it down before. So, and if I don't write stuff down, it's probably not going to happen. But anyway, so that was Chicago opener, also known as Red Hot Mama, but we did the reverse version. Clearly, the toilet cleaning version is what I did. So, all right. Currently, the queue is empty. If anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Now would be a good time. In the meantime, I could make myself do some magic. Hold on, let me see. I've got to practice using my own queue. Or, let me see here. Manage, add. Let's do this one. Oh, somebody beat me to it. We're going to do the ambitious card routine, which we have already done with Andrew War's card. But let's go ahead and do it now with Chan the Magic Man's card, because Chan is the requester of this trick. So let's go ahead and find Chan signed Queen of Clubs. Here it is. Guys, we did not know. Chan the Magic Man has signed the Queen of Clubs. So it says here, Chan the Magic Man. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of like a cool, the fact that you have like 4 words in your name, Chan, that we can then use this for. But anyway, so earlier I did the ambitious card routine, but this time let's go ahead and show you how Chan does the ambitious card routine. Chan puts the card into the middle. No, actually I'm doing it my way, but Chan probably does it different. We're going to put Chan in the middle of the deck, but nobody puts Chan in the middle of a deck, because Chan wants to get on top of the deck. Chan wants to be on top. There he is. There's Chan the Magic Man. But if anybody else tries to put Chan in a corner, sorry, in the middle of a deck, you might not be able to see Chan on top of the deck. Not until Chan gets on top of the deck. See? Look, Chan's going to get on the top of the deck right now. See, he just jumped right on. Now he is right on top. But Chan, you know what? I just realized that I should maybe make like a voiceover, like, and it could be a trailer for Chan. So it's like, Chan, the Magic Man, the legend. Chan was not born knowing magic. Chan was born with magic inside of him. Chan was not always on the top of his magic game. Chan is the magic game. Would that be a really cool voiceover? I think that'd be a really cool voiceover, right, Chan? All right, and that, my friends, is Chan, the Magic Man, coming to a theater near you. Which I guess, by the way, nobody sees ads for those like that anymore. Thank you kindly for the claps. Keo Demon, Chan the Magic Man. All right. Let's see. Next up we have... Oh, you know what? The next 2 are Keo's. So I'm going to go ahead and do... let's do one of Keo's next. So Keo has requested the vampire card trick. Let me find the vampire card trick. So, one of the things that I didn't watch much of as an adult, that I started to watch a little bit more of when I had a kid, was Sesame Street. And so here, this, let's theme this one a little bit differently. Normally I theme, oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, I found the vampire card trick and not Be Sisters. Sorry. Let me swap those. My mistake. Sorry, I'm doing the vampire card trick because I'm already in the mood. Yeah, And so, here we go. So the vampire that is in Sesame Street is the Count, right? his name, believe it or not, is actually Count Von Count. And so here, let's count the hearts. 1, 2, 3 hearts. Ah, ah, ah. And so the count counts the hearts. And then as you can see Keo doing in chat, ah, ah, ah. But now the count, let's pretend these were like cookies and Cookie Monster came over to eat the cookies. And so we can now see, well, here's the 3 hearts still here, 2 of hearts still here. And here's the count. And he can't count 1 anymore because it's gone. It's been eaten by cookie. Not just the front, but the back. So the entire cookie is gone. GipsonLens says, I worked on a Sesame Street game. Dude, that's awesome. I didn't know that. That's cool. WTF? I know, right? So 2, 3. And the count says, ah, ah, ah. But Cookie Monster comes over and eats the second one as well. And so here's the 3, and here's the count. But of course, the 2 is completely gone. Not just the front, but also the back. I know, super weird. And now finally, the 3. So 3, ah, ah, ah. But then he's like, oh, and Cookie Monster just gets to it before anything. And not just the front, but the back is completely, yeah. So, anyway, we have the count, and the count doesn't have anything else left to count. And so, what he's going to end up doing is leaving because there's nothing left to count. And I think I just barely finished that just before the ad break. So, boom, vampire card trick. Ah, 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 ah. There we go. That was probably the most family-friendly version of the vampire card trick we've done. I certainly quoted Sesame Street more than I normally do in that trick. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Keo Demon. Thank you kindly. So we're currently in the ad break. I won't start the next trick until the ad break is done. So let's go ahead and get ready for it. Oh, actually, I can also get ready for the next request as well. And actually, while we're here, because I do this as a combo now, I'll do this. Okay. So we're just going to do this, this, and that. Okay. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay, the ad break is finishing now. And so let's go ahead and hop back down to the magic screen. And then make a little rhyme that make you seem... Oh yeah, so GipsonLens says, I worked on a Sesame Street game. I'm like, oh, like, what was it for? I guess is my question. If is like a new one, an old one? I don't know. I guess under what circumstances? Was this as part of Double Fine? All right, so here we have 4 coins. If you were here, you can inspect the coins yourself. But we're going to make the coins jump from corner to corner, and we're going to be using 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I do this trick live, I always talk about the Star Trek transporter, but I found crowds or like audiences that don't know anything about Star Trek, so I just have to talk about random teleportation technology, and so we're going to cover each coin with a card, and yeah, so I feel like it loses its luster if I can't talk about Star Trek. GipsonLens says it was called Once Upon a Monster for Connect. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. It's a Double Fine game. Oh, nice. All right. I was unaware that Double Fine had a Once Upon a Monster Sesame Street game. Oh, yeah. By the way, the coins are going to jump. Don't blink. 1, 2, 3. And now, of course, we'll make this one jump from here to there. 1, 2, 3. And then finally, this last one, we'll make this one jump 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yeah, so for anybody who didn't know, Double Fine was an independent video game studio that then got bought up by Microsoft as part of Xbox games, and then recently became independent again after Microsoft laid off a ton of people and liquidated all of the formerly independent studios, with a handful of exceptions, Double Fine Studios being one of them. But recently, Double Fine had to announce a round of layoffs. So, yeah. Good news, GipsonLens is still employed. Oh yeah, and then I double, so I double fine. So you normally do this trick in addition to the cardless version. So we're going to do the exact same trick, except we're going to do the cardless version. So I arrange it back into the rectangle, and show you the hands are empty, and we're going to make the coins jump from corner to corner. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. GipsonLens says the latest news is there will be a game jam soon. Nice, awesome. And I don't know if you guys are watching, but the coins are jumping over here. 1, 2, 3 over here, 1 over there, and last one. There we go. And of course, I have to do the finale. And the finale is 1, 2, 3. There we go. That, my friends, is the cardless coin matrix. Alright, so that was this one and this one. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Keo Demon. So GipsonLens, game jam soon. I don't even know what that means. Does that mean everybody's going to be creating games like crazy? Hold on. Game jam. Double Fine Productions is bringing back its signature Amnesia Fortnite game jam as Amnesia Fortnite 2026 indie reboot. It's a Kickstarter campaign. Oh, I vaguely heard about this. Okay. Where backers vote on which developer pitched ideas become 4 prototypes, with one ultimately selected to become a full small game under the studio's new label, Double Fine Action Labs. Is that correct? I'm just reading. This is a this is a generated AI thing, so it's FYI, generated AI stuff can be incorrect. So, Keo Demon says, going to lurk. Thank you for all the wonders with your magic. No problem, Keo. Thank you for the lurk. I know you have another trick in the queue, so that's going to be coming up right now. But otherwise, yeah. And Chan says, same here. All right, Chan, thanks for hanging out. Thank you for the lurk. And if you guys are heading out, have a good night. If you're sticking around quietly, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. All right, cool. So let me see here. Next up, this is B Sisters. So here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and these are aces. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the red aces here, like this. And we have the black aces. Uh-oh. All right, guys, we are going to mulligan. Ta-da! Shh! Don't tell anybody you saw that. That's a magician's secret right there. All right. Okay. Let's see if I remember. LOL, says Keo. Oh, man, see, making a mistake on the trick brought Keo back from from lurk. That's how powerful a magician's mistake is. All right, all right. But anyway, for anybody who has seen this trick before, you know where this is going. So, all right, there we go. So, first things first, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave the red aces over here. All right, so we're going to leave the red aces over here. And now I'm going to show you the 2 black aces in my hand. Now, we're going to go ahead and take the 2 red aces from down here and put them in my hand, but not physically, just metaphysically. And now, if we take a look, the red aces are here in my hand. I know, is that weird? That's a little bit weird. But you may be wondering where are the black aces. Now, some people think that the black aces are down here. But all I did was take the red aces from down here and put them in my hand. I did not take the black aces and put them down there. So if we take a look at this, there's no aces down here. These are blank. Now, if I was to take the 2 red aces and just blow them away. Winter 7568, welcome in, Winter. Missa is late. Oh, that's okay, Winter. Thanks for coming in. The stream's still going on, so no worries. Nothing to be late, unless I guess if you wanted to see part of the Hades stream, then probably a little late for that. But I'll just fill you in. I did beat Hades this time. So I know. So oh, so yeah. That's right. I did it. Yep. This was heat. It was heat 9. I was on heat 9. So but anyway, I took those aces away and now there's no aces at all in my hands anywhere. And that, my friends, is Bee Sisters. And I did make a little bit of a mistake there. So not that performance, but the one that I mulliganed. So if you guys were watching. But now that you've seen the end of the trick, you can kind of see. It's like, wait, oh yeah. So if the question is, oh, do magicians ever make mistakes? Yeah, the answer is yes, of course. Of course. We're performers like anybody else who performs. Do musicians make mistakes? Sure. They might be able to hide theirs a little bit better if they're just, going along with the part of a song and it's not like too crazy, but there's some times where a magician just can't recover. This was one of them. Keo says, I have a disc golf tournament next Saturday. Please give me the crazy blessing. Oh, guys, we didn't know. Keo plays disc golf, and I love disc golf. So, Keo, I praise be unto thee the best of luck from my god Chowazi. Uh, so I believe that everything is a random number generator, even in real life. So Chowazi is my chosen god of the random number generator, which, if you guys didn't know, it's just an app that just randomly chooses a finger. So hold on, let me show you the app Chowazi. So it's a free app, and if I ever wanted to make a random decision between like 3 things, I just put 3 fingers onto the app, and then it will choose one of the fingers, and that's the one. So yeah, that's it. If I need 4 decisions, I just put 4 fingers. Anyway, there you go. So that's Chowazi. If you'd never heard of Chowazi before, like, if you just need small minor decisions made, easiest way. If you need somebody to be chosen first for a board game, that's mostly what most other people use it for. But there, my friend, Keo, you now have my blessing and the luck of the random number generator on your side. So I am a follower of dutyism and sanctioned. Ah, okay, all right. Gotcha. I am a follower of Chawazi, this random number generating app. I trust in the Chawazi. But yeah, good luck. All right, next up we have a trick requested from Charlie's Beats. Thank you for that request, Charlie. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Keo. All right, let me see here. Yeah, is it weird that I praise be unto the god of a random number generating app? I mean, maybe it is, but if you know how some people have said that we live in a simulation, if we live in a simulation anyway, then we are being controlled by a random number generator to some extent, in which case it doesn't seem that crazy to praise to pray to a god that's a random number generator, right? Yeah, yeah. So all right, okay, so here we oh wait, let me take out the jokers because I want the jokers of this trick. Okay. Winter, thank you so much for the 3-stream watch streak. All right, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and split the deck up into roughly 2 equal parts. They don't have to be exactly equal, just a little bit. So right about here. Okay, next we're going to need 2 cards selected, one from this packet, one from this packet. So, I'm not sure if Charlie, if you are available, feel free to click directly on the screen and select a card. Here we have a card selected, so let's go ahead and pull that out. This is not the kind of trick that requires me to not look at it, so I will go ahead and take a look at it. So here we go, and everybody can remember the Jack of Spades. I'll go ahead and put Jack of Spades in chat there. And I'm just going to let you remember that I'm putting it back into the middle of this packet face up in the face down packet, okay? And so that is what we are going to be doing here. And now I'm going to need a second one selected. And let's go ahead. Oh, let me go ahead and clear this heat map. Delicious. All right, go ahead and click directly on the screen. And one of these should be selected now this time. And we will have this one be our second selection. Here we go. Thanks for getting that Eat GipsonLens. And this one is the 6 of clubs. So we'll go ahead and 6 clubs. There we go. Once again, we will place this face up in the face down packet. Just like this. You can still see it just like that. Let's go ahead and eat this heat map. Delicious heat maps, by the way. Delicious. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to turn one of these facing in the opposite direction, and then we're going to shuffle these two together. I know it's a little crazy. Just so happens that ZD Major 7 is right on top, which is fitting for Charlie's Beats. Charlie's Beats has a mod for ZD Major 7. So, and also ZD Major 7 has oftentimes rated in here. So thank you, ZD Major 7. Thank you, Charlie's Beats. Now I'm going to go ahead and an ad break is starting soon. Oh, we gotta hurry this up then. All right, so we're going to give that a shuffle. Let's go ahead and give this a couple of cuts. Cut, 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 cut. One more cut, and boom. However, we are going to go ahead and have the plunger fix everything because plungers fix all issues with toilets, and certainly this could be a toilet, right? And there we go. Everything is now fixed. I don't know if you can tell. Everything except for 2 cards because there's 2 cards facing in the opposite direction. And let me just show you. This one is the 6 of clubs. And this one is the Jack of Spades. And that, my friends, that was a triumph. Do 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 do. And we beat the ad break, most important. Thank you kindly for the claps, Charlie's Beats. All right. So, let me see. Some kind of news. I've been finagling with my thoughts about how to deal with some of my old laptops, and I bought a couple of SSDs, internal SSDs, and replaced the hard drives, the hard disk spinning drives inside with SSDs, and they don't need a lot of space. But I fixed up my laptop downstairs. That's not this one. This is like my main, like, powerful one. I have one that's hooked up to a TV over there that I used to use for playing dance games, and then it got really slow and sluggish. So I would only use it for basically dance games and like um, singing karaoke. But now it's snappy, and I'm like, oh, I could probably play dance games on it again. And so I was thinking I should probably try and put dance games back into my life because I haven't played dance games on the regular for many years. So anyway, for anybody who did not hear any of that, that's okay. I was telling all the subscribers about my dance game habits. So yeah. I mean, that's what you get when you're subscribed, right? You get to hear about my dance game habits. And oh, I actually haven't checked my I haven't checked the arcade game machine that is technically on loan to me from my friend since I updated my router, so I should probably see if it still connects. It should. I don't think there's any technical issues for why it shouldn't, but we've had issues. All right. Anyway, the queue is empty. If anybody would like to request any tricks, feel free. So unfortunately, I did not have any magic gigs to recap this week. However, I have a magic gig on Tuesday, and it's not really a traditional magic gig. It was like it was something that came up where one of the young kid magicians wanted to perform magic at one of the libraries, and then the librarian reached out to me because I had performed there not that long ago, and she asked, "Hey, can you help facilitate this event with this young magician?" And I'm like, "Oh, is the young magician such and such his name? Because if it is, he and I already know each other." So, and she was like, "Yes, it is such and such young magician." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And we talked a little bit, and it's like, okay, do we want a show, just me and him, or do we want to do something else, like a magician showcase or something? And she was like, yeah, that sounds like an interesting. And I'm like, okay, a magician showcase sounds like a fun thing. So I reached out to the local Society of American Magicians chapter that I am in and asked, hey, anybody want to be a part of this magician showcase? And so, yeah, I did get a bunch of people to come for the Magician Showcase. So on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time at a local library here, there will be a Magician Showcase where roughly 6 magicians will be present to perform. And the good news is that the librarian required registration, and at some point, the librarian, she upped the number of potential attendees, and we also got another young kid magician. So we have 2 young kid magicians and 4 adult magicians as part of this magician showcase. And last I checked, there were 100 like total slots. 95 of them had been filled. There's 5 slots open or 5 slots available left, and I'm like, what? No way. So we might be getting like 95 people for this magician showcase on Tuesday. Um, so, which, by the way, was a little bit of a challenge to coordinate, but I think I got a handle on it, and I think it'll be fine. So, but the format of it is going to be each magician has their own table. We're going to shoot for rotations every 10 minutes. Every magician is free to perform whatever they want to do. I'm going to be acting as host, so when people come in or before they leave, I'll do a trick then, or cover if there's like a gap in between performances, between rotation time or something, just to make. Or it's like, oh, have you seen this such and such magician? Here, why don't you come over here? This magician's just starting, something like that. So that's pretty much the game plan. So I'll be host, and hopefully, and honestly, we're doing this mostly for the two young magicians, because one of them is the one that kind of instigated the whole thing and mostly just wanted to perform. I'm like, all right, let's do this. So, but for anybody else who ends up coming, and they, because there are, I'm sure there will be some people, or at least some adults, if they were coming for magic and they were not uh, necessarily interested in watching the young magicians. First of all, I would tell them, hey, these young, I've seen one of them, and this young magician, he's good. You should watch him. He's entertaining too. So, the other one I haven't seen, but I was told he performed at his school talent show, and apparently had like a set of tricks that was like 10 minutes, and I'm like, wow, for a young kid with a set for 10 minutes, I'm like, that's great. So, very good, very good. And then of course it'll be me. There'll be another magician that's uh, I actually don't know how old he is. I think he's a little bit younger than me, but and then we have a few magicians that one magician is a little bit older than me, and then the other ones are older than me. So, but yeah. All right. So, let's see. If anybody wants to request anything, the queue is empty. Feel free to request anything. Let me see if I want to practice anything. Yeah, I kind of want to practice this. So, let me do this one. I'm also getting used to the new song list or trick list. Oh, the number of boss tricks is not accurate. But alright, we'll do that after we do the trick. Okay. Okay, so here we have a ribbon, and on the ribbon we have three replica Chinese coins. And so they are threaded through a little hole, and the concept of the trick is that a long time ago, this is not my story, this is a story that came with the trick basically. But a long time ago, there would be thieves that wanted to steal the money, and pockets would not really exist yet because they were luxury clothing items. And so, what they would do is they would put these coins on a string or a ribbon and tie it around themselves. And the way that they would try and steal it is they would have to try and get it off of the ribbon or string without the owner knowing. And so, they would do tricks to try and fool them so that they could pull it off of the edge of the string. But if you became a good enough thief, you could then just pull it off of the ribbon yourself. And so here we now have two, and some would become the wiser and they would end up wanting to do it again. And so if you were here, I would ask you to put your hand here, and all it would take is a little bit of a jingle. 1, 2, and I don't know if you can tell, but look, now there is one right there. Okay, so one over here, two over here. Let me go ahead and show you what they would do for the last coin. And so here's what they would do. They would actually place it in their hand along with the ribbon or string, and they would try and tie it up. And so here's what they would do. They would actually make the ribbon or string tied around the hand, and what they would do is keep their hand around it, but the thieves would actually find a way to get their way into that as well. And so 1, 2, and 3, and they could not keep their coins at all. Where do you suppose the coins went? Well, of course, they went into the thief's pocket. 1, 2, 3. And now, my friends, I will call a successful practice run of that trick. Aiden DMG, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you kindly for the claps. Appreciate it. Let's see. So yesterday I actually went to a. So my kid is going to be entering kindergarten, and we were invited by, I guess, kids, friends, parents to go to like a neighborhood, pre-kindergarten meetup so that the kids could meet up and play and get to know each other. Also gave us a chance to meet some of the other parents that we haven't really met yet. And there at the party, obviously, there were a lot of kids. There were a bunch of adults, and I got to know some of the adults. Chatted a little bit, showed off some magic, showed some magic to the kids, and this has never happened before. But the kids requested lots of magic. Like I created magic demand, and this is more demand than I'm ever used to. Because like I usually go around and I'll show magic to basically anybody. Not that I try and force it on people. I'm well past the point where I have to show everybody everything at this point. But I was kind of like there was this one young boy and he just kept on following me around like, can you show me another magic trick? Can you show me another magic trick? And then when I was like, okay, I have to take a break or I'm doing something else, he's like, can I show you a magic trick? And I'm like, whoa. Like, so he was very over eager. I did give his mom a business card so she could find my social media or if she wanted to hire me for an event or something. But um, yeah. All right. So we have, let's see here. So once again, if anybody wants to request any specific tricks, feel free to request. In the interim, let me go ahead and I do want to do another trick that I want to practice. So let me go ahead and get that one. Aiden DMG says, I'm good. Thanks for asking. I was very entertained last time, so I have returned. Well, welcome back, Aiden DMG, and thank you for coming back. Appreciate it. So, anyway, I'm usually pretty chill, relaxed here. So if you want to ask any questions, or if you want to request any tricks, or if you just want to, I also like talking. Oftentimes, too, if you want to see a trick about a particular topic, if it's something that I know and I like, just start talking about random stuff in chat, and I've oftentimes just included it as part of the trick. But yeah, so that's usually how things go here. But welcome back, and I'm glad that you were entertained. So. Oh, I did want to tell everybody that I had forgotten that one of the tricks that I did last week was a boss trick. And if anybody didn't know what boss tricks are tricks that I mess up on. And so, but I did, because I did do it successfully and it worked out. So I did add to the boss trick count last time. I did it off stream, so if anybody, I don't think anybody's keeping track of the number, but if anybody was, there you go, that would be why. Let me just double check and see what the... Oh, yeah. So the trick was jumping Gemini. So we did that successfully last time. And so actually the number of boss tricks at this point should just be 1. Oh, no, 2, because we are technically adding B-Sisters to it. So actually, I want to see if I can edit this. I don't know. Sorry, we're all learning about the new song list or trick list. So I'm just going to take a moment to make sure that I understand how this works. So let me see here. This edit. Wait, how do I edit the... Oh, I can edit right here. Well, that's handy. All right, that's cool. All right, awesome. Okay, so this trick is, it's called Coins Across. And if anybody was physically here with me, I would ask them to interact with me at the end of the trick, but since nobody's here physically. All right, so we have 4 replica Japanese coins. They're not real. They're just replicas. But we are going to show you something where we will have 1, 2, 3, 4 coins in this hand, and we will try and transfer a coin from this hand to this hand just by touching our thumbs. And here we have touched the thumbs, and that gave it enough time for 1 coin to jump over here. We'll break a rule of magic, and we're going to do that again. And so here we have 1, 2, 3, 1 in this hand. Let's grab it, and then we're going to go ahead and have our thumbs just touch. And as you can see, 1 coin has disappeared from this hand and appeared over here. And of course, we will continue. So here we will have 2 coins here, 2 coins here, and we will go ahead and have our thumbs touch just like this. And 1 coin has jumped from here to there. Now, at this point, if anybody was here, this is where I would ask them, okay, hold out your hand. I would actually place, Ada DFG says, crazy! I would place all 4 coins in their hand and say, okay, just go ahead and imagine what it would be like if I was to go ahead and grab one of the coins from your hand and place it in my hand. Now, of course, you only have 3 in your hand right now, but what happens if, now I would ask you to close your hand over it, and let me see here. Actually, yeah, I have a box of clear cards here. I don't want to completely obscure it. I don't want you to think that anything's happening, so I'm just going to cover it with this clear box so that, and of course, we will show you still that we have the coin over here, okay? But it's not until, there's actually one more thing that needs to happen, right? The thing that needs to happen is that we need to touch our thumbs. And so I'd ask you to stick your thumb out. I would stick my thumb out. We would touch our thumbs. Boom. And then finally, we would be able to reveal that there's no coins in my hand. And there, oh, the ad break has started. All right. I could just rewind a little bit. We can just hold this pose for like a minute and a half for 90 seconds until the ad break is over. Yeah, I just won't change the screen. I'll just keep on talking. For anybody who is subbed, I don't know if you want to hear me talk about nothing for a minute and a half, but we can talk about nothing for a minute and a half. So earlier in the week, I did get a chance to go to a summer concert. There was one more summer concert. I think I saw what happened there. Oh, Aiden is definitely seeing things because Aiden has the not Nitro. It's Turbo, Twitch Turbo symbol. I think I saw what happened there. Did you see what happened there? Okay, you maybe, but wait. We'll wait till the climax of the trick after the 90 seconds are up, just in case there's anybody else watching that. Okay, the ad break is finishing now. So now we can fast forward, and I can show you. We touch the thumbs, boom, and then there's actually no coin in my hand, which I technically did reveal, but I think I revealed that when the 90-second ad break started. But now, if you were here and this was in your hand, you can now open your hand, and you could then count the coins in your hand, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you could look at the coins, fully inspect the coins. You're all good. There we go. And that, my friends, is coins across with a little pause break in between. That's insane, says Aiden DMG. Yeah, the coolest part is if you can do that in real life, because people are like, what? No way, because they're like, it was in my head the whole time. Durkee Blaine says, sorry, back in the hospital, just got him. Durkee Blaine, are you okay? What is going on? I'm sorry you were admitted back in the hospital, and I have no idea what's going on, but if it's related to your other stuff, that sucks. That being said, oh, sorry, Durkee Blaine. I know that we didn't. I think I don't know if we shouted you out earlier, but Durkee Blaine, guys, you're not following a friend, Durkee Blaine. Please give Durkee Blaine a follow. Durkee Blaine, variety gamer, also a magician, also is planning a magic event in September. Actually, it should be on a Sunday, so instead of doing my Hades stream that Sunday, I might be attending Durkee Blaine's stream. But definitely give Durkee Blaine a follow. But dude, I'm sorry. Check for stroke. What? Are you okay? Did something happen? Dude. Yeah, I hope you're okay. Yeah, definitely get checked out. I'm I'm surprised that you're like even here. But yeah, take care of yourself, man. Let's see here. Yeah, definitely do what you need to do, Durkee Blaine. Be healthy. Sorry, I need to praise be unto my God Chawazi. Praise be unto the God Chawazi, the random number generator of life, that you are going to be healthy and taken care of. Not I just realized that that could have been taken the wrong way. Taken care of in the good sense and not the bad sense. Sorry. Sorry if that was morbid. All right. Once again, guys, the queue is empty. If anybody wants to request anything, feel free. But yeah, Durkee Blaine, good luck. Hopefully everything is good for you at the hospital. Take care. Turkey Blaine says, it's keeping me sane. Having speech issues, brain doesn't want to work right now. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. That sucks. Yeah, I don't know of anything in real life that has happened myself, but I've heard of stories um, where when people sometimes suffer some sort of like brain trauma or something like that, in their mind they can still think and do everything normally, but then like there's like a verbal inability to speak the correct things. Sometimes it manifests as like babbling and doesn't come out. Other times it can manifest as you speaking perfectly articulately, but with words that maybe are nonsensical together, or something like that. Uh, Although, based on what I'm seeing in chat, it seems like at least that you can type, and I'm guessing that what you're typing comes out perfectly fine as like your intention. But yeah, that dude, if you are having crazy like neuro speech issues, that good. Oh man, I don't know. I wish you the best. Just good luck, and hopefully you recover. Yeah, that's scary stuff, man. So I don't know if anybody else knows. I'm into I like neuroscience. I think most people don't have a favorite neuroscientist. I have a favorite neuroscientist. So if anybody's ever heard of Dr. David Eagleman, he is my favorite neuroscientist. So yeah, which I guess I don't share that much related to neuroscience, but I have a neuroscience channel in my Discord. So if anybody wants to just, I share a lot of things in my Discord, but like I don't think it's super busy in my Discord, but like I share stuff in there. So feel free to check it out. But anyway, yeah, Durkee Blaine, I wish you the best. Good luck. Let's see. Last week when we had raided out, we actually raided out to was that last week? I think it was last week. To Happy Nightmares. Happy Nightmares has synesthesia, which if anybody doesn't know is a condition where when you think about like certain numbers or logical concepts, there's additional sensory information that they could see and hear depending on the kind of synesthesia. So, the Friendly Fiddler, welcome in. How's it going, The Friendly Fiddler? Does that ever pop up on forums? They ask you who your favorite neuroscientist is. By the way, welcome in, Andrew. Guys, are you not following our friend, The Friendly Fiddler? Please give The Friendly Fiddler a follow. Has fiddled on Twitch before. Will fiddle on Twitch once again sometime, perhaps after a dissertation is completed or something like that. But anyway, good to see you, Andrew. How's it going? Been lurking but couldn't chat earlier? Oh, yeah, totally understand. Thanks for the lurk. Appreciate it. So, but no, it doesn't. Not well, as far as I know, everything that I've ever applied for, I don't work in neuroscience. I would work in software engineering if there were jobs that were hiring. But does that ever pop up in forums? No. And they ask you who your favorite neuroscientist is? No. No, nobody ever asks. So it's something that if I never volunteered, it would not be a thing that ever came up. So I'm volunteering it, okay? And you've all been voluntold what my favorite neuroscientist is. There's a little bit different meaning of voluntold there. So the Friendly Fiddler says, "Do you always game at the start?" No, I don't always game. Lately, it has been very consistent, but I wouldn't say 100%. So I game before if I'm feeling sleepy or if I need to wake up or if I feel like I want to stream, slightly earlier than I normally would, but I didn't want to start Magic yet. Even though I probably shouldn't have any issues with starting Magic because I obviously have enough material to fill like 3 hours if I wanted. By the way, the queue is empty. If anybody would like to see any more Magic, feel free to request. If you don't want to request but you don't know what to request, you can type !random and that'll put a random trick into the queue. So, and Friendly Fiddler says, "Hi!" Alright. So no, I don't always game at the start, but when I do, it's always in production. No, sorry, that's a software engineering joke. No, yeah, I game usually before Magic Stream, but not always. One time was I was running really late, and I was just like, all right, jump into Magic Stream right away. Another time was I basically didn't have Magic Stream. I changed it to be a convention recap stream, the entire thing. So because I went to Gen Con. If anybody didn't know, I like board games. I went to Gen Con and recapped my entire Gen Con experience in a, how long was it? Was that like 4 hours stream or something? I showed off all the pictures. I love taking pictures. We talked about a lot of board games. What board games do you like? Oh, Aiden DMG. That is a great question. So a lot of the games that I enjoy playing, I like abstract strategy games. I like deck builder games. I like worker placement games, which is like a type of game that came out from under like Euro, Euro games basically. So worker placement's probably my favorite out of those mechanics. And then I also like social deduction games. So big games like Werewolf, Mafia. There's a lot of new variants of those if you're vaguely familiar with those. So Aiden DMG says, I play a fair amount of board games. I like worker placement games too. Aiden DMG, awesome. That's great. Yeah. So just to give you like a slight recap of my Gen Con experience. So when we checked into the hotel, it was a very close hotel to the Gen Con venue. And you know how like sometimes when you check into hotels, they might give you like a small snack or like some chocolates on your pillow or something? When we checked in, they gave us each a copy of this. Flip 7 with a vengeance. And I was like, yo, they know how to cater to their crowd. And I'm like, that's great. Um, that's awesome. Yeah. Um, yeah, actually, Aiden DMG, if you hop in the Discord, there is a board game channel, and I did share my board game geek link, which I can just grab it for you right now if you want. But it's not updated with all my new stuff from this Gen Con, but it mostly has. I have like over 300, 3 or 400 board games. It's too many. I can't play them all. But anyway, yeah, you can kind of get a sense of what I have. So let's see. Yeah, so like abstract strategy games. I've done a couple of YouTube tutorial videos on my YouTube channel. So if you just go back in time, because I've done a lot of Magic content since, but if you go back in time, I did like one of my favorite deck builders was Dominion, obviously one of the first deck builders. Actually, it was attributed as the first deck builder board game. But I used to do a segment called Dominion Shuffle, and I have like maybe 8 episodes of that where I just play with a different friend each time, and we would just change up the Dominion Kingdom every single game. Um, let's see, and we talk about the strategy and stuff. But and then social deduction, man, I would like to think that I've got skills at trying to convince people, even to my team's detriment sometimes, which I explained during this last Gen Con. But I played Blood on the Clock Tower, and for anybody who's played like a social deduction game before, normally when somebody gets eliminated, their playing ability gets diminished and reduced for the rest of the game. In Blood on the Clock Tower, everybody can basically be playing the entire game, even if your character perishes. You still get to continue playing the game. You can still talk. You can still privately talk with people. The only tangible thing that's different is that you can't nominate somebody to be killed or executed during the day, and you only get one more vote. You have a ghost vote. But if you are like alive in the game, you get to vote every single time, and you could still nominate people freely. And that's pretty much it. But everybody has a power. There's no generic people in Blood on the Clock Tower, and so that was super fun. That was super good. Oh, you know what? I've been meaning to do a trick like this. Let me pull out some cards here. Has anybody ever played the board game The Resistance? The Resistance is a game that has spies in it, and spies are the bad guys, and the good players are the good guys. Are the or I forgot what the name, resistance members. I think they're called resistance members. So yeah, let me pull out some cards, and I've been meaning to do one of these. Let me see if I can just throw one together on the fly. That'd be cool, huh? Okay, okay, all right. Oh, Pinecone, welcome in. How's it going, Pinecone? Hi. Oh, I played it. Not my thing. Oh yeah, it's so. By the way, social deduction games are not for everybody, and I know a lot of people who are like, I like the strategy but hate the talking, and I'm like, okay, I get that too. Guys are not following our friend Pinecone. Please give Pinecone a follow. Pinecone is prominently on Twitch as a mod, a VIP, and a ton of other channels. And you might see him around a lot on music Twitch, but also is a streamer, plays variety video games, and oh, and you play music as well. Have you played on stream, or you or so you are a follower of Christ, cancer survivor, parody writer, pun enthusiast, gamer, musician, and baker. I don't know if I knew all of those things about you, but I'm also a cook. I don't bake, but I like to cook. Cooking is mostly chemistry. I'm not like I don't want to like try every time and just be like okay. I like the improvisation of cooking, but baking is chemistry. So if I try and improvise baking, I mess it up. Yes, I've done a few music. Oh, okay, all right, all right. I'll have to watch out for that. Trying to do about one a week now. Ah, gotcha, makes sense. Aiden DMG, have you heard of a game called Town of Salem? It's a social deduction video game I like. Oh, no, I've never played or heard of Town of Salem. Let me look that up really quick, just so that let me see here. Town of Salem game. Oh, Town of Salem card game, popular online game that. Oh, okay. So it's a Kickstarter video game card game. Is that correct? That then became a board game. Do they have a physical printing of this? Oh, wow. All right. That's kind of cool. Uh, it's sort of like Mafia, but more in depth. Okay. Town of Salem. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look at this. All right, cool. An ad break is starting soon. All right, I'm gonna have to. I'll wait until the ad break's over. Hello, welcome in, Schafferstern, and thank you so much for the 15 stream watch streak. Welcome in, Schafferstern, and good morning. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. Yeah, I'll have to check out Town of Salem. Thanks for the mention of that Aiden DMG. Okay. Oh yeah. In the meantime, let me put in the queue that I'm gonna improvise a thing, improvise a magic thing really quick. Let me see. Actually, I'll just call this Magician's Choice again. Chef Verstern says, "Yes, I'm fine. How are you? I'm doing well. Not sure if you're not sure if you can hear me during the ad break. I know that we've talked about sometimes you don't get ads if you're international, so that. But I'll just type it just in case, just to cover. Okay. So let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah. Gen Con had a lot of fun. Played a lot of games. There's the games that I've owned. I don't really keep really good stats on the games that I own. We were talking about social deduction games. Got an ad. Okay. Thumbs up. Not not that you got the ad, but that I understand. Okay. All right. There we go. Yes. Okay. Pinecone says, I found some room for improvising and baking, but only with certain things. Yeah, I suppose there's some things that. So, for example, right? I think that you could improvise things that are either like toppings or like peripheral things that are like put into either a dough or a batter, like after you create the dough or batter. So, a good example, in my opinion, is like raisins, chocolate chips. Those are like additional things, but like to experiment with like the core dough is probably not a great idea unless you have done many baking things, which I have not. I've not done. I basically used to bake bread, but it was just like one kind of bread, and I would make cheesy bread, but that was it. So right, says Pinecone. Yeah. Schafferstern says, "Glad to read." Yes. Oh yeah. So I was saying out loud Schafferstern while you were in the ad break, and I was like, "Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm doing fine. Oh, I don't know if you can hear me. You might be getting an ad break, as we've discussed. You're international, and we don't know if international gets the same ads or same number of ads. But then I typed it anyway, and then it worked out because you had the ad break. So I was like, yeah. All right. Great. When is the next cooking stream? Oh, I don't know, Schafferstern. That's a good question. I don't know what I'm gonna cook when because lately my diet has been very sad because I've had to just cook very basic meals to not get gout, gout attacks and gout flare-ups. So, all right, okay. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! My OBS is doing something weird. Okay, and also this is not straight. There we go. All right, I'm going to improvise a trick. Now, this trick, it's going to be called the Resistance. Now, I don't know if you have ever seen or played the board game The Resistance, but it is a social deduction game, and the social deduction game includes two kinds of roles, and the roles could be that of resistance members, which are considered the good guys. So the good guys will be represented by these black spot cards. But the spies, or the bad people, are going to be represented by these red face cards. And so now, how do you go about playing the resistance? Now, what ends up happening is that sometimes people have to get selected to be on a mission, and when they get selected to be on a mission, you might see the outcome of whether the mission succeeds or not. Now, the spies are the bad guys, so they want the missions to fail. 3 failed missions, they win. 3 successful missions, the resistance wins. And so here, what we've got, the first mission is typically always 3 people when there's 7 players. Don't ask me how I know that. I think I just remembered. But you know, you might be like, hey, I'm good, you're good, and I think you're good, so let's all go on a mission. And you might end up seeing that in that chunk of people, you'll see that everybody looks like they are a resistance member and they allowed the mission to pass. Now, of course, here in the second set, you end up seeing, okay, let's go ahead and get everybody else, and then we'll see if there's anything mysterious to be going on. So the second mission, here, they go ahead and say, hey, I'm good, I'm good, oh, you're good, and you're good too. Okay, so let's go ahead and go on a mission. And as it turns out, they end up seeing that there happens to be one fail. And so now there's one failure. And so now the score is tied 1-1. And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So we know that somebody's bad over here. Who can we trust over here? Let's go ahead and let's grab you. We can trust you. And go over here and use the 4 people for this mission. And so what they end up doing is they end up going on this mission, and of course this mission passes. And so that one, they look good because everybody happens to be part of the resistance, or so you believe. And so they're like, okay, you know what? In order to do this, they end up choosing for the third mission the same group. But actually, when they do that, they discover that there is a spy amongst them because a failure is thrown. And so now it's 2 to 2, or sorry, it's 1-2, so 2 failures. And they're like, wait, there's one bad guy over here and certainly one bad guy over there. And now it's in a crazy, crazy situation because the resistance has to logic out. And they're like, okay, let's grab 2 people from over here and 2 people from over here. And there has to be like 2 failures in order for this to fail. And so, depending on who they grab, um, you know, it might just end up leading to uh, an issue. And so they're like, okay, let's go ahead and, you know what? I think that you're good and you're good. So let's go ahead and take you. And then I know that I'm good and I'm good too. And as it turns out, they happen to trust the wrong people because this game is going to end with 3 spy victories because in the 4th mission they have to have 2 failures in order to fail, and they did get 2 failures. And that, my friends, is an improvised trick about a board game that maybe nobody knows anything about, like nobody being most people, but like I hope that that made a lot of sense for anyone who has played the Resistance before because uh, that was kind of funny in my mind anyway. Thank you kindly for the claps, Sheffer Stern. Yeah. As for when's the next cooking stream, I don't know. I will see. Um, Chances are, if I do cooking streams again, it will probably be after September starts, which is actually next week. So maybe certainly I'm not going to be doing it or this week or next week, I think, but maybe the week after that I could start doing cooking streams again. But they will be early during the day in my time. So. But Pinecone says, "Oh, sorry to hear about the gout. Yeah, Pinecone, it's something that I've been living with for the past like I mean, technically all my life, but like I've had to deal with the symptoms for the last like 6 years on and off. But I didn't really get serious about cracking down on it because it was starting to happen more often in the last like 3 to 4 years. And now I've learned way too much about everything related to gout and the science behind it and how to deal with it. And I'm like, wow, gout is stupid. So for anyone who doesn't know, there used to be this question that people would ask for discussion. And the question was like, oh, what about yourself would you change? And you know, if you could just change one thing about yourself. And you know what, honestly, I never really had an answer for that because I was always like, you know, I'm pretty happy with the person that I've basically grown to be. And I've decided I now have something that I would change about myself. And the thing that I would choose to change about myself, if I could just change one thing about myself, is that I wouldn't have gout, because this is a genetic thing that I have. I have a good diet. I try and balance everything. The thing that is stupid is how much you have to try and balance your diet is kind of ridiculous. And I'm like, if I was just a slightly weaker, mentally weaker person, I would probably just write it off as, oh, I have God, I'm so sad about it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to fight this to the best of my ability. And the restrictions are stupid, okay? So, Aiden DMG says, lol, that seems like a solid choice. I'm like, yeah, yeah. So, all right, there is a trick in the queue. So let me get ready to perform that. And then, um, if there's any more tricks in the queue, I'll perform those. But otherwise, if you guys want, I can complain about gout probably for about an hour. So, but if you don't want to hear about gout, please request things and put them in the queue. I'm just thinking somebody right now is like, is that a threat? And I'm like, kind of is, man. Just kind of depends on if you want to hear about gout. Is deep down inside. Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and begin. Okay. All right. So here I have some queens. Let me introduce you to them. So here we have the queen of clubs, the queen of hearts, the queen of spades, and the queen of diamonds. And if you were here, I would ask you to cut the deck maybe about 3/4 of the way down and place it over here. And so it could be off by a card or two. You could do that. Then I would ask you again to cut about 2/3 of this and place that here. Could be off by a few cards, doesn't really matter. You would be able to pick. And then I would ask you to cut about half of this and place it down here. And so let's say you cut it there. And trust me when I say you could have made all those cuts yourself, it would have been fine. So, but here's what I want to do. I want to mark each one of these particular places with one of the cards. So we'll put a queen there, we'll put a queen over here, we'll put a queen over there, and then we'll put this last queen over here. And so now, earlier we brought out our special guest, and the special guest, we will bring him back. He is the tiny plunger, and this tiny plunger will plunge. Would you believe that this tiny plunger can plunge the queens from each one of these piles down here? Because I don't know if you know, but this plunger has brought all of the queens down here. I don't know if you can tell, but 1, 2, 3. The plunger has picked up 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and these 4 cards happen to be the queen of spades, the queen of diamonds, the queen of clubs, and the queen of hearts. And here's Stern's signed queen of diamonds. Now, I don't know if you know, you're very good at cutting the deck, because what are the odds that you cut to a card that was very significant right here? And then what are the odds that you cut to a matching card right here? Almost certainly 0. But what if you cut to 2 more cards, infinitesimally 0, that match these cards? And that, my friends, you've cut to 4 aces. There we go. Thank you kindly for the lurk, Pinecone. Thank you kindly for the applause, Stern. Thank you kindly for the the friendly filler says, I feel like that plunger may have given up its traditional value to be a special magic plunger. In other situations, it may disappoint. Well, the friendly fiddler. Size isn't everything. All right, there we go. I could not help it. I could not help it. Oh, anyway. Shaffer Stern says, "Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for that request, Shaffer Stern. Hopefully you enjoyed." And we did use the Queen of Diamonds, signed by Shaffer Stern, in there. All right. So if anyway, if anybody wants to request any more magic, feel free. The queue is open. Now's a good time. Otherwise, so yesterday while I was at the party for my kids' future schoolmate, neighborhood kids getting to know each other before they go to kindergarten thing. I did meet some of the other adults, got a chance to talk with them, but I did talk a little bit about my gout specifically. And yeah, gout is stupid. So obviously the main triggers are very poor diet, obesity, eating junk food all the time, none of which I do. And as far as I can tell, I don't think I qualify as obese. Um, and the other factor, genetics. My dad had gout. Apparently, I found out much later that my uncle on my mom's side also had gout. I'm like, come on, mom, you could have told me earlier. And so, yeah. Um, but for anybody who doesn't know what gout is, so gout is this condition where you will get extreme swelling around joints because uric acid builds up in your blood, and the uric acid becomes crystallized in the joints, and then it irritates the heck out of you, and that irritation causes inflammation and swelling, and then that's the thing that becomes painful. Kagome Shuko, welcome in. How's it going? Good to see you. I'm currently going on a diatribe about gout, and so by the way, you can easily stop this by requesting more magic. But until then, um, so as you can imagine, very sharp uric acid crystals in your joints. When it inflames, it's pushing your skin and your joints directly back into those crystallized, pointy, sharp things, and making it inflamed even more. And so, yeah. Aiden DMG says, "My dad has gout as well. It sounds horrible." Oh yeah, so it hurts like hell. And here's the thing: a lot of people, it manifests. Those crystals will manifest in the feet and ankles, and generally the legs. So standing and walking on it is very painful. So what did I learn about gout? Well, I learned first of all, I was wondering what can't I eat, and everybody's always like, well, these are the things that you can't eat. Well, you know what? Those lists are not enumerative of all of the things that you should not eat. And a couple of the things that they don't mention are white carbohydrates and sugars. And I'm like, okay, well, sugar is generally bad, but like carbohydrates, I mean, pasta, rice, that kind of thing, also bad. Things that are healthy for you, but also have lots of purines, which is the thing that converts uric acid in your blood, is spinach, for example. And I'm like, oh, I love spinach, and like, um, and the one thing that I kind of curse still is Indian dal and lentils. So if you're not aware, all right, Kagome Shuko is like, I don't want to hear more about gout. Just filled up the queue. Well, thank you for all the requests. Friendly Fiddler says, you can't eat spinach? So, the Friendly Fiddler, let me just tell you that there's nothing that I can't eat. It's just everything that I choose to eat, there's a risk associated with it. And the question is, do I want to accept the risk? So, Aiden says, those are my favorite foods. I sure hope I don't get it from my dad. Yeah, that's the thing. You won't know until there's a flare up that occurs. Kagome Shuko says, now I requested all kinds of tricks, and that will be fun. No doll? Ugh. Yeah, I know, doll. So here's the thing. Having one doll is not bad, but the thing is, you're usually having a bowl full of, like, obliterated, dense doll, and that, whether you mix it with rice or whatever, that could be very high concentration for your body to take all at once and not get out of your body. So anyway, anything can cause inflammation of the gout. I knew somebody that had it. Yes, yes. There's very little that is absolutely 100% safe. Everything is just like partially a risk factor. All right, okay, so let me go ahead and find some cards for the next trick. We'll do that, and then I will continue my diatribe against gout. All right, okay, so but he didn't really care and ate whatever. Ad break is finishing now. Okay, the ad break is finishing now. People are coming back. I should be able to start the ad. Oh, sorry, start the magic trick. And now here we go. All right, I've set aside the 4 aces because we will need all 4 aces for Arya. And so let me go ahead and turn all of these cards face down. Now for this trick, we're going to need a few additional cards to cover each one. So we're going to place those right here. Place these over. Sorry. I'm going to place these over here. At least you can tell your daughter about Jeanette. Yes, I should be able to tell my daughter about Jeanette. That's all right. This could be a good reason to be like, no, 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 you can't drink that much alcohol, honey, when she reaches drinking age or whatever. And then the last one, lol, says Aiden DMG. Yeah, FYI, my kid's like 5, so it'll be a while before she can get there. All right, so anyway, first ace is the ace of hearts. Let's go ahead and grab the ace of hearts, place it amongst these 3 cards, and we're going to stick it into the middle of the packet. Let's put it squarely in the middle as it can get. Next up, let's go ahead and grab the ace of clubs. Ace of clubs going to go into the middle of this chunk, and we're going to place it maybe close to the top, but not too close to the top. So like here, right? And then next one, we're going to go ahead and place the ace of diamonds in amongst this packet and place that towards the bottom, maybe like here, but not too close to the bottom. Okay. And now we've got ace of spades. Now the ace of spades in a bunch of other tricks tends to be called the leader ace. So anytime you have the leader ace will pull all the other aces. And I don't know if you can tell, but all of the aces have now appeared here with the ace of spades. There's no duplicate aces. I mean, and they're all signed, so I mean, they're the same aces. And that, my friends, is a successful trick. Aiden DMG says, sheesh! What? How? Says Kagome Shuko. Thank you kindly for the claps. Schaffer Stern. All right, so let me quickly talk about the medications for gout. So there's several medications for gout, and they're all stupid. So the first one is called allopurinol, which will reduce the uric acid in your blood. Well, that's good, but they tell you that when you start taking it, if you haven't been good about your diet, it will clear up the existing crystals that you have in your joints. But if they cleared it up too much, you might suffer rebound gout flare up. And so the thing is, even when it's clearing up, it shatters the crystals and it's in your blood, and your body inflames that area as though you had a flare up anyway while you're recovering. And so for every time you get a flare up, you might get a counter flare up thinking it might be worse, but it could be getting better. You just, it depends on your diet. So that's messed up, dude. Aiden DMG, I know. I've had to live it the past few years, and and I'm just like, oh my god, that's so stupid. So they also tell you to take colchicine. Now, first of all, allopurinol. They won't tell you this clinically, but the people that I have heard that take it, like their coworkers and such, how it gets rid of the allopurinol, anecdotally, is that you sweat it out. And I don't know if you guys know what uric acid smells like, but you're basically going to walk around smelling like pee. And I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that in my life. So, yeah, you sweat out the uric acid. Colchicine is the thing that's kind of like an ibuprofen, but it prevents the inflammation. Uh, However, it has a very narrow window of usefulness. When you get a tingling where it's right before you get the flare up, that's when you need to take it, and you have to take it at that point, otherwise it won't be useful later. And if you take it too early, it won't be useful early. It's also high toxicity, so like a few doses in a day could be enough to put you in the wow, that was too much toxic amount of stuff. And so I can see why they maybe don't want it, because like there's a lot of people in the world who are like, one medicine is good, two medicine is better. And like colchicine is not the thing to be taking more of when uh, you want to get better. Because you could be introducing additional toxicity to yourself. And then the last one is a steroid, which is already a controlled substance. It's a steroid, and it could really mess with your immune system. And you can't just take one. It'll shut down like your immune response, which is first of all very dangerous because it weakens your immune system, right? But then it'll stop the flare up. But you have to take a diminishing amount of prednisone regularly because your body will suffer withdrawal and not know how to deal with it, and so in that case you could actually perish if you yeah. So Kagome Shuko says they need to figure out how to make medicines that make your sweat smell pretty and that don't do anything bad. I mean, that would be great, right? So Aiden DMG says that makes sense. Yes, it does. So, all right, next up we have four burglars as requested by Kagome Shuko. Thank you for the request. And so here we have the four burglars. Let me introduce you to them. So here we have the Jack of Spades, the Jack of Diamonds, the Jack of Clubs, and of course the Jack of Hearts. Now the Jack of Hearts is our ringleader, and the four burglars, these particular burglars, are not going to be stealing things. They're going to be stealing hearts. And so this Jack is actually Casanova. And so here, these four lovely studs, Casanova tells them all where to go, and Casanova says, all right, you go down to the docks and try to woo the ladies that are coming in by the shiploads. And you go to the village and try and find all of the ladies who need help and try and charm your way into their lives. And you are going to go to the wealthy mansions to try and woo the rich daughters of the landowners. And I, as Casanova, will woo everybody I come across. And at the end of the week, everybody comes back together and reports back on their progress. Here's Casanova and each one of the lovebirds to try and tell them what worked and what didn't. And that is the story of how Casanova continued to be successful, wooing all the ladies. And you can see that these are the only jacks. These could be signed. There's no other jacks in here. If anybody wants to sign a card, you can see some of these are signed. If anybody wants to help support the stream, there's many ways to do that. You get to sign a card, and actually if you are here and you request a trick, if I can use your card during the trick, I usually try and do that. So, boom. But anyway, so that is the Four Burglars Love Edition. Actually, I just realized that's probably a good Valentine's Day version for that. It's really hard to talk about like Four Burglars stealing stuff, and so the trick is to not sweat, says GipsonLens. Oh, that's in response to the All right, so good news, bad news. Good news, we have deodorant. Bad news, you are sweating through all of the pores in your body all the time. Good news, you could theoretically prevent all of the pores from your body from sweating all the time. Bad news, if you cover your entire body, all of the pores on your body with deodorant, your body and skin will not be able to breathe and you will perish. Which I don't know who did this. I think I heard about this a long time ago, but somebody won a Darwin Award, which anybody doesn't know. It's actually a dumb thing to win because it's someone who killed themselves inadvertently by doing something stupid, I believe. And somebody covered their whole body with deodorant, and then they effectively suffocated themselves. So, the Friendly Fiddler says, why didn't anyone tell me this all these years? Kagome Shuko has a... Oh, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, I am always soliciting chat for funny names or interesting names for magic tricks, and I've created a couple or been inspired by a couple of random names. So occasionally we'll get some, but if anybody comes up with any, the weirder the better. And so the last one I really liked was shampooing the chocolate cake, which was that was still brilliant, by the way. And let's see, Kagome Shuko has another one, perpetuating the sorbet. All right, I don't know if that one really strikes anything. So, ADMG says, I saw that in your Discord. Lol. Yeah, yeah. So that is effectively an original trick by me, but inspired by actually a couple people in chat, Kagome Shuku being one of them. I think, who was the other one? I think that was Orion Send, right? So it was Kagome Shuko and Orion Send talking about that. And I was like, whoa, 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 this is crazy. This is a good idea. So, but yeah, yeah. So I have a YouTube channel with like over 300 magic tricks. I have like maybe a dozen of them are like original tricks of mine, and then maybe another dozen are like improvised versions of tricks and stuff. So I mean, I've done some of my own stuff, so you can check that out. All right, next up we have a trick called Invisible Palm. Kagome Shoko says, "I love that trick too. Just stuff on my table. Yeah, shampoo and chocolate cake. I know, right? It's such a weird combination." And I'm like, the thing is, as soon as you say something like shampoo and chocolate cake, and it's like, whoa, 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 what's the connection, right? So you just your brain's just like, how how could they possibly be related? Okay. All right. Next up, we have a request from Kagome Shuko, and this is actually we're going to reveal a little bit of magic to you guys. So, has anybody ever heard of the concept of palming? Palming is something that magicians will do to hide a card in their palm when they uh, may actually be hiding something. So here, let me go ahead and demonstrate. So here we have 4 cards. Let me go ahead and place one on the table. Now, if I was to palm a card poorly, you might at certain angles be able to see it. You know, if I open up my fingers, we call those windows, being able to see through the fingers. And so if I was to go ahead and palm this but invisibly, all right, and so now this card is invisible. You won't be able to see it even if I open up my fingers until I put it down on the table, which is when I want you to see it. It's right there. I know that that might have been too quick, so let's go ahead and do that again. We're going to break a rule of magic. We'll do it again. You don't normally do the same trick twice. But once again, if I palm it poorly, you'll be able to see it. But if I palm it but invisibly, you will now be able to see it. No, sorry, you won't be able to see it, but you'll know that it's there. I could even turn my hand over. And it's not that the card isn't there. I'm holding on to it. It's just invisible. And you won't be able to see it until I place it down on the table. And that is it. Now, remember this card just for a second. So it's the King of Hearts. Okay, so let's leave the King of Hearts there just for a second. And here we'll show you the other cards. The King of Hearts not there. So we're going to palm the King of Hearts off from the bottom of the deck just so that you can see how ridiculous it is, right? And so here, we're going to go ahead and palm this from the bottom of the deck, just like this. Now, it's not that it isn't here, it's here, it's just invisible, see? And you won't be able to see it until I place it down on the table, so there you go. And of course, you won't believe me until you see that this is indeed the King of Hearts. I would say, and it can be signed, but it actually is signed, so it's all good. And that is the invisible palm. You palm a card, but just invisibly. Kagome Shuko says, my B complex vitamin literally just jumped off of my side table. Trick name idea, jumping vitamins. You know, what says Kagome Shuko? Aiden says, very sneaky. And thank you kindly for the claps. Sheffer Stern, thank you for that mind blown as well. Yeah, that one always looks really good. When I saw that one, I'm like, whoa, that looks so cool. And then I went to learn, and I'm like, that's clever. I like that. Like, and so there's that version, which you just saw, and then there's another version that I could do without a table. And you basically, it's the one that I do where if I'm doing like a stand-up strolling magic, and I don't necessarily know if I have a table. then I basically do it in the hands. And so it looks really cool though, because here, let me. So like I'll do something like, I'll just show you like one quick phase of it. So I'll do something like this, but I hold my arms like out like this, and I'll slowly shake my hand so that one card melts from one side. All right, that didn't look very good. Mostly because I dropped that. I'm not used to doing it this way at this angle. So yeah, I'll mostly so you see 3 cards here, 1 card here. So now if I just shake, one card melts from one side and appears on the other side, and that's kind of what it looks like. So I do that for 2, do that for 1, and then yeah. So okay, that's the invisible palm. All right. Going back to Kagome Shuko, so instead of jumping vitamins, I like actually I like B complex vitamins. So I'm actually thinking something like B complex side table or something, because that is actually more interesting. Because then also I can do something like a pun, because using the letter B, not just like the letter B, but also like B, like BE, or like have a double meaning. So instead of like B complex vitamins, but maybe like B complex, like telling the audience to be complex. So hold on, I'm gonna put something down like B complex vitamins off of my side. Yeah, okay. So I'm making a note. B complex vitamins off of my side. Yeah. Okay, that's brilliant. All right. We're going to take that. Okay. All right, cool. And Aiden says very sneaky. All right, Aiden. I think Aiden may have just partially figured out a sleight. Oh, an ad break is starting soon. All right. And then Aiden DG says that looks crazy. All right. Well, thank you, Aiden. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Just the name B complex vitamins for a trick. I'm gonna choose B complex vitamins off of my side as the inspiration. All right, there we go. But yeah, yeah, there's some tricks. So a lot of the tricks that I like are like cerebral, right? They're like things that break logic and don't make sense, but they're not very visual. That one is just very visual, so I think everybody likes the visual ones. There's one I've been doing. Oh, this next one's the 8-card brain. Hold on, let me get ready for that one. Let's see, this one. Okay. And then actually I should get ready for the next trick too, while the ad break is going on. Ad break is finishing now. Excellent. Okay, so people should be coming back now. We're just talking about um, the 2 different kinds of tricks that I like to do, and well, so I mostly like to do cerebral tricks. So tricks that are like, OMG, how can that happen? That doesn't make sense. That's impossible, kind of stuff. Um, and then there's the super visual tricks, which that one is super visual because it both doesn't make sense, and it's like, what? I just saw it. That's like what? Looks really good, right? So yeah, those that, and I think deep down inside, especially now that I'm doing magic gigs, uh, I need to have more visual ones because those are the ones that I think sell a lot better. Um, Aiden says, I always try to figure out how the tricks work, but I'm still mind blowing every time. Lamau! And the cerebral tricks are awesome. And Snowy City says, back from ads. All right, welcome back from ads. Yeah, so Aiden, yeah, if you like puzzles, which, by the way, if it sounds like you like board games and you like logic and thinking like that, like, I feel like a lot of people don't figure out how magic works because they either don't want to, which is perfectly valid, or maybe they want to but don't know where to start, or are lazy or uh, just like, no, 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 there's no way. My entire first year of learning magic was just all free resources online, and so there's a lot of information. Like you could learn enough from free stuff to put together like a magic show. Um, it's just a matter of honestly, if you learn the stuff, you have to practice it, and I think that's probably where a lot of people just would stop. Like they probably wouldn't do any practice. Um, I had this really weird situation where I was forced to do practice because I couldn't go and show tricks to real people. That's a longer story, but we'll do that after this next trick. So, uh, let's see. Kagome Shuko says, trick name idea, igniting the television. I'll have to think about that one. I'm not sure. Kagome, you have requested this trick, the 8-card brainwave. Uh, and I do need somebody to interact with it. Would you like to be the person to interact with this? Just let me know. And you'll just have to select a card out of 8. Yes, okay. Kagome Shuko. All right. So the premise of this trick is that I will be trying to predict which card you will select. I'm going to show you all 8 cards. And the by the way, the manipulation may or may not have already begun. But maybe don't choose your first choice. Maybe don't even choose your second choice if you think I could predict it. Maybe choose your third or fourth choice or fifth choice or maybe your last choice. Just, don't. So select one of them and then I will prove to you that I knew which one you would select. Okay? Are you ready? I'm going to go ahead and spread out the cards. So here are the 8 cards. Now, go ahead and commit to one. And once you have committed to one, and I won't break away the screen, we just had an ad break, so we shouldn't have another ad break. So it's okay to go ahead and tell me which card have you committed to as your selection. And oh, did you click? Did you click directly on the screen? And you have selected the 4 of diamonds. Just to confirm, that's you. Yes. Okay. All right. Excellent. So you have selected the 4 of diamonds. Now, here's the interesting thing about your selection. Okay. Now, if I show you the backs of the rest of these cards, right? These are all red-backed cards, right? All of them are red except for the 4 of diamonds. That, my friends, is how I mentally get on the same wavelength of your brainwave. Kagome Shuko says, how? I know, that was a very long pose of that face, huh? Yeah, that one freaks people out in real life, too, so... Schaffer Stern, thank you kindly for the claps. Aiden DMG says, that's awesome. And Kagome Shuko says, you're in New York and I'm in Louisiana. What sticks to what bounces off me sticks to you? No, sorry, that's I just felt like it started like roses are red, violets are blue. You're in Louisiana. That doesn't rhyme. All right. All right. That was 8-card brainwave. I once did on stream, and I feel like it almost gives away the trick. I once did on stream. I forgot what stream it was, but I did with a whole deck 52-card brainwave. And I'm like, there's no way this will fool anybody. And yet, I think there were some people in chat that were like, what? And I was like, oh, it worked. Like, so. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, let me just scroll up here. Oh yeah, so going back to what Aiden said, always trying to figure out how the trick works. Yeah, so yeah, if you like puzzles, the whole reason why I got into this was I enjoy puzzles, and I was like, there's got to be a reasonable explanation for this. And for a little while, I was just learning tricks like with the tutorials and stuff. But then for a large segment of a couple years after that, in order for me to learn a new trick, I just watched other performances of the trick and I just reverse engineered them. And so now a lot of my tricks that I learned like later, like after the first 2 years, I pretty much are all like reverse engineered card tricks because I think I know enough about card magic that I can reverse engineer most of those things, or at least have a sense. But like, I'm still like, I don't know enough about other forms of magic. So like stage magic, I'm like, all right, everything is suspect in stage magic anyway. But all right, next up is a trick requested by Kagome Shuko called Britlin Twist. Aiden DMG says, being able to reverse engineer them is impressive. Ah, thank you, Aiden. Yes, I would say that it is a skill that one builds up. It's not something you can just, you do all of a sudden. I did have a situation where I was tested twice, and one guy was like, okay, here's this trick. Oh, do you know how he did it? And because it sent it in a video, and I'm like, oh, okay. I just rewatched the video, and I'm like, okay, I think you did this or this. And I laid out like the two paths, and he was like, you're right, there was the first one. And I'm like, okay. And then another time was I happened to see a trick, and the guy do it like 2 or 3 times, just like to live to other people, and I'm like, and he was like, oh, okay, do you want to know how it's done? And I'm like, I think I've got it. I explained it back to him. He's like, oh yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. Um, Kagome Shuko says, roses are red, elephants are big. This one will rhyme. This is a magic gig. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's actually pretty good. All right. That, you know what? That fits in the category of genuine dad jokes, along with being a magician. So well done. Well done. All right. Okay. Next one is called Britlin Twist. Let me introduce you to the four kings. So we have the king of clubs, the king of diamonds, the king of spades, and the king of hearts. Now, with these kings, what I want to do is something interesting. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let me go ahead and turn up two of these kings and leave the other two face down. Now, if I was to close up the packet and turn it face down, you would think that if I was to count through the cards, you would see a couple of kings face up. But you won't, because I'll show you that now they're all facing the same direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know, it's a little bit weird, right? But once again, we're going to break the rule of magic again. We're going to show you the exact same thing twice, because, I don't know if you can tell, two face up, two face down. If we close that up, turn the whole thing over, if we snap, all of the cards are now facing in the same direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. But here's the thing. Sometimes you don't want to do the trick with the kings. Oftentimes magicians will want to do tricks with the aces. And so let me go ahead and hold this, give it another little twist, and that will change one of the kings to be an ace. I know, that doesn't make any sense. We're going to go ahead and twist this again and turn another king into an ace. Aiden DMG says, that's insane! And let me just go ahead and just twist it a couple more times. And so we have the ace of hearts, the ace of clubs, the ace of diamonds, and of course the ace of spades. And if you were here, I could let you look at all four aces, and you're probably wondering, where are the kings? And well, so here's the interesting thing. I don't know if you know, some people think that the kings are here on the top. That's not the case. Some people think that the kings are here on the bottom. They did switch places with the aces, and so if we take a look in the deck, there are four kings in the deck. that did switch places with the aces. And that, my friends, is the Britland twist. Come on, baby. The Britland twist. Do 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 do. It goes like this. All right. Aiden DMG says, I think I caught a couple of the tricks that time. Ah, certainly. So, especially like when you're watching and you can pick something out, that's like that's that's good, and then it gives you like a little bit of insight into like, whoa, because like obviously when I watch some card magic and if I know how it's done, that's okay. I can still appreciate it for like how well it's done and stuff, or like, oh, that's really clever, right? And so you can appreciate it at a different level than just like, whoa, this is magic, and I don't know what's going on. It's like, whoa, this is magic. It's like, I see what you did there. It's like, oh, this is magic. That was very smart. That's, you know what? Yeah, that's respect. You know, like Aiden DFG says, that's a good point. Yeah. So it's okay, and especially like that one's a little bit longer trick. It's like some people think a trick is just like 5 seconds and that's a trick, and it's like I think you'd be hard pressed to understand how that whole thing was done and constructed, even if you saw one little tidbit of it. So you know, there's still going to be that aura of mystery, I think. Kagome Shuko says, even if I know how a trick is done, it still blows my mind. I mean, some people, right? Creating music is magic. It's like, oh, how do they make something so beautiful? It's crazy. And really think about it, it's like they are plucking strings on on this device, and the strings are very taut, or like they are pressing these keys on this piano, and it moves a hammer that then hits a taut string. It's like, but really, you understand like an additional level of it, and it's like, then you understand things like notes and chords and progressions and like sheet music and like steps and leaps and repetitions and then you talk about like arpeggios and scales and so all kinds of things like that. So Kagome Shuko says, like, I know how a lot of floating people are done with clear platforms, but it's still like, huh? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, even if you know how something's done, if it looks really good, you'd be like, I don't see anything. I know how it's done. Still looks good. Right? Kagome Shuko says, I know how to do all kinds of effects for theater, and theater is still amazing. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to take away how amazing it is. You'll just appreciate it. There's the appreciating it down here, like, and then there's the appreciating it here, and it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, different ways to appreciate. And also, I think that the fact that, like, how many tricks did we do today so far? Let me see here. I could look at my history, and we have done. Oh, actually, don't I have a command for that? Hold on. Today, 19 tricks have been performed today. Okay, so yeah, like considering I messed up one, that's like if I do one more successfully, that's 95% success rate. Like I only messed up one, that's pretty good. I'll take that. I'll take that any day. I'll take that at a real gig. Like, okay, an ad break is starting soon. All right, I won't start the next trick until after the next ad break. So, but I can also get ready for it. So let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, I oftentimes equate magic performance to like musicians performing because they are performing arts. You tend to do it live. If you compose music, that's like creating a trick ahead of time or preparing a trick ahead of time. Um, you can execute playing a song like excellently. I could execute and perform a trick flawlessly. Um, I think it takes a lot of the same kinds of skills. There's like the technical execution, and then like in music, there's like improvisation, like with jazz musicians and things like that. So like if I have like a rowdy crowd, I'll have to like change things on the fly potentially. 90-second ad break is starting now, so there we go. Okay, let's see here. The Friendly Fiddler says, I keep trying to trick people into not thinking I'm playing violin, but they always seem to figure it out. Yeah. Bamboozling the bagpipe, says Kagome Shuko. I like the word bamboozling. I know that you're choosing bagpipes for the alliteration, but you know what immediately came to my mind when you said bamboozling the bagpipes, though? I thought of something dirtier. um, so. Oh, wait, we're in the ad break right now? Okay, okay. So I thought of bamboozling the tea bag, is what came to my mind. Uh, so I'm going to make a note of what I thought, and then we'll just leave that there. Kokomishuko says, lol. Yeah, so I'm going to make a note of bamboozling the tea bag instead. But that was inspired directly by bamboozling the bagpipes. Could be taken as dirty or innocent. Yes, yes. Yeah, anything with double entendre or triple entendre, I'll take it. Multiple meanings, we're good to go. Okay, all right. Let's see. It says the ad break is finishing now, so I think people should be coming back from the ad break. There is one trick in the queue requested by Charlie's Beats. So let's go ahead and cut down to here. All right. Next up is a trick called Jazz Aces. Speaking of jazz, by the way, great segue. So here we've got 4 face cards. They're all the queens. 4 aces. We can't have jazz aces without the aces, right? And so Kagome Shuko says, there are those people who can make anything into a double entendre. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got the 4 queens over there, and then we have the 4 aces. Let me leave this ace down here, because this is the ace that's going to be the one where everything jumps down anyway. I want to leave these other aces over there. And so, here's what we are going to do. We are going to go ahead and show you that among these we've got our 4 queens, and I'm just going to go ahead and leave one of these queens over here, okay? And we'll take this ace and place it in here, and what we will do is grab the ace and place it here, because if I show you now, there's actually no aces over here. There's the 4 queens, because that ace has hopped down here. Once again, let's go ahead and grab one of those queens, place it here. Let's grab this ace, place it in here. But we're now going to imaginarily or figuratively or metaphysically place that ace down here. Because now if I show you, there's no aces over here. That ace has appeared down here. And now finally, let's place one of these queens down here. Grab this last ace, place it there. And of course, there's no aces here, because these are all queens. Because that last ace has hopped down here. And that, my friends, is jazz hands. Sorry, jazz hand aces. All right. Kagome Shuko says, there are those people who can make anything into double entendre and into innuendos. Yes. How? They're very clever and their mind lives in the gutter. Oh, no, sorry. You're probably talking about the trick. Okay. Thank you kindly for the claps, Charlie's Beats, and thank you for that request. And thank you for the applause, Schafferstern. And Aiden DMG says, gotta head out for a bit. It was nice hanging out with y'all again, and the magic was awesome. Thank you for those kind words, Aiden DMG. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming back, and hopefully we'll see you around next time. Otherwise, have a good night. Take care, and we'll see ya. I guess we have been going for a while, so this is probably going to be a good time for me to call last call anyway. So let's go ahead and do last call. So anybody who wants to request anything, feel free to do it now. We'll do everything in the queue, and then I'll do a finale trick still, and then we'll find somebody to raid. Also, a good reminder: if anybody is thirsty and you're not hydrated for a bit, please feel free to hydrate. Tonight, I'm having my once again beloved Indigo Punch. If anybody was curious, I don't know if anybody was tonight, but. All right. Anyway, so with going back to the whole gout thing, no, sorry. Kagome says like, I can hear the character Todd on Scrubs. Me saying my vitamins jumped off of the table, and him saying, I was just jumping her vitamins. Oh man, which makes no sense. No. Yeah, that's like, oh man, I thought of a really corny version of that yesterday. I forgot what it was. Um, but yeah, it was one of the. But for him, it's an innuendo. Yeah. I understand. I haven't seen much of Scrubs, but my wife liked. I think she liked Scrubs for a while. Oh wait, did she not like Scrubs? Did she like Psyched? Or they? I know they're different shows, but I'm just misremembering. Anyway. Oh yeah, getting back to the complaining about gout. So gout tends to manifest in the feet and the ankles a lot, but I learned about the chemistry of why, and I was like, why does it form in the feet and the ankles? Pinecone says, I like Psych, and Kagome Shuko says, Psych is funny. Yeah, Psych is good. Um, I've watched more of Psych than I have of Scrubs, but I found out that so it happens to manifest in your body gout when your body cools down. So when you're sleeping, and where does it get the coldest? It tends to be in your extremities, i.e., your feet. Um, your hands are also in your extremities, but because they're technically close to your heart, it tends to default to your feet. And I was like, what? That's crazy and it's when your temperature goes low enough, it tends to solidify. Uh, and then when it solidifies, you can't just apply heat to like melt or dissolve them. You have to chemically dissolve them, which is where the diet and your what you eat and stuff. Uh, Kagome Shuko says there's a pineapple in almost every episode. It's like I did not know that. That's so cool. So it's like an Easter egg that you could then look for in every episode of Psych. But what you can do while you're sleeping is I used to love sleeping with no socks on, but now I have to sleep with socks on because that keeps my body warm enough so that the gout crystals don't form in my feet. But here's what I had last week. Actually, during the stream last week, I had a gout flare up in my wrist for the very first time. I was like, whoa, this is so weird. And so what I did for my feet, it worked because it didn't build up in my feet. It built up in my wrist. I was like, that's crazy. And so I was like, that's how okay, crazy. Yeah. Oh no, says Pinecone. You know what? I would choose a gout flare up in my wrist any day. And also, I think I felt it a little bit in my elbow too. I would choose my elbow and my wrist any day than my feet because I can still get around and do stuff, and I can kind of adjust my arm usage and my hand usage. But you can't really, waddling around or hobbling around with like a cane or like a crutch or something. It's way less practical. Pinecone says, "Oh, just thought it would affect your magic." You know, about 2 months ago, I had my first gig while I was having a foot flare up, and so I went to it with my cane, and luckily I was able to sit down at one of their tables and entertain the crowd, and it worked out. But it was not weird that I was walking in with a cane. They weren't like, "Oh, what happened?" or anything. So they weren't, they weren't calling me like House MD or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of what I have to do a little bit. Aiden DMG says, "I always look for pineapple," and it's like, nice, nice. Oh, I see. Somebody has requested a trick. Sorry, I just saw that. And then the other thing about gout is that so your body will naturally create uric acid naturally, and you can't 100% eliminate it because it is it is required for good health. I.e., if you completely eliminated the uric acid in your body, you would probably perish. So you can't just get rid of it that way either. All right. Next up, we have a trick called Polarization of Light, original of mine. Thank you for the request, Charlie. Actually, since Charlie has requested this trick, let's go ahead and find the Ace of Spades signed by Charlie's Beats. There we go. So, first things first, when you see light scattering throughout the world, it will be going all about in every direction. So, let's pretend Charlie's Beats is a photon amongst the world here, and it doesn't matter how you look at it, you will be able to see Charlie's Beats signed Ace of Spades, whether it's horizontal or vertical, because it scatters in every direction. Wait. Hold on, the trick is doing itself already without me doing anything. Oh, yeah, there it is. So you can easily see it that way. Okay. But we can polarize. We're going to use my polarizing pen. Sorry, my polarizing pineapple pen. Kagome Shuko says, "It's not fun when your body betrays you." Yeah, totally not fun. So first things first, let's polarize Charlie's Beats Ace vertically. And so here we go. So now this is vertically polarized. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means, let me first go ahead and place it into, Kagome Shuko says, pineapple, apple pen, pineapple pen. All right. I should probably mention this. At Gen Con, I saw somebody selling 4 pens. It was all the possibilities of pineapple pen. But anyway, so if I go ahead and fan the deck horizontally, you won't be able to see Charlie's Beats card because it is vertically polarized. So even if I do this, you won't be able to see it. It's there. It's just polarized the other way. And so if I was to go ahead and fan this vertically, you will now easily be able to see it when we get to it because it is polarized vertically. Now let's polarize Charlie's Beats card horizontally. And now let's go ahead and fan it vertically. And I know this was a challenge, but let's go ahead and, so now if I move this vertically, you won't be able to see Charlie's Beats card because it is polarized horizontally. And so now here you can already see that when I fan horizontally, you'll see the polarized card. And that is a simple concept in card magic that I fully fleshed out into a scientific concept called the polarization of light. Oh yeah, so going back to the whole, so I saw at Gen Con, somebody was selling a pineapple pen, an apple pen, what are the other? They were selling like 4 pens, and all of the permutations were like, I just don't even remember. Anyway, thank you kindly for that, for the claps, Schaffer Stern. Thank you kindly for the claps, Charlie's Beats, and thank you for that request. Pursuing the pineapple. Pursuing the pineapple. You know, I think the tricks don't have to be alliterative. They don't like shampooing the chocolate cake was not alliterative, and it was brilliant. So I know that pursuing the pineapple is alliterative because of the p. By the way, for anybody who knows anything about linguistics, and the letter P is a plosive. That's the kind of sound that it makes when you are. Oh, sorry. That's the shape of your mouth and the type of action that your mouth makes to make the p sound. A plosive. Yeah. Yeah, it just came to mind. They aren't all winners. Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. All right. You use your lips, and you are moving air in between your lips and the outs, like in basically behind your lips and outside of your lips. Plosive. Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and what do I want to perform tonight for the finale? Oh, for anybody who hasn't been here before, I'm going to choose a finale trick, but if I don't successfully perform the finale trick, I hate ending on a trick that I mess up on. So, if I mess up on a finale trick, we're doing another finale trick. That's the plan. And an ad break is starting soon. Okay, so we will wait until after the ad break is over, but now will be a good time to let me unpin. I'm going to turn off requests. We're going to add, we'll be doing one of my favorite finale tricks, Picasso Aces. Okay, let me see here. Oh yeah, that's right, an ad break is starting soon. I won't start the trick until after the ad break. Kagome Shuko says, I had to take a pronunciation class for my BA in theater. Ah, that makes sense. Because, like, yeah, in theater, language is very heavily used, right? So, you know, you want to make sure. Oh, it's a good thing I looked at this because I did not reset after the last performance here. Hopefully I said that during the ad break and not before. But I guess if I did, it doesn't really matter. It's okay. All right. Here. Do that. Okay. And then this. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah. So after the 90-second ad break is done, we will do our outro. We'll do the finale trick. Find somebody to raid. I can probably just look to see who's on right now. Just a quick heads up, my schedule might change a little bit. I'll probably still have Sleight of Hand Sunday, but it might end up being a little bit earlier on a Sunday night, so we'll see how that goes, starting in maybe a couple weeks. Kagome Shuko says, we had to be able to write dialogue in the International Phonetic Alphabet. Oh, that's, uh, that's probably difficult for people who don't do it. I can't imagine regularly doing that right now. Let me see here. Okay, I'm just seeing who is on. There's a handful of people we can raid after, so certainly some of the usual suspects, and then of course we could always find somebody else as well. Okay. All right, ad break is finishing up, so I think people are coming back. Kagome Shuko says, hopefully it'll be cooler outside in a couple weeks. It's so hot here right now. Oh, my sympathies. Yeah, like the entire world is suffering from like heat wave right now. So the good news for me where I live, weather has generally been pretty mild, and on the super hot days, the we have central air conditioning, and I know that's, but our heating and cooling bills, or I guess in this case for just cooling bills, has like gone through the roof, which is not very good for a guy who is unemployed. But it happens. So all right, let's see here. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out, hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for everybody who interacted with the stream, whether you chatted in chat, requested a trick, clicked on the heat map, selected a card, did any of those things. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. Thank you to everybody who is lurking, because magic is one of those rare art forms where if I'm practicing magic at home, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. Thank you to everybody who supported the stream today. So thank you, Andrew War, for the resub. And thank you so much to our raiders today. We had RBZ2005 raid in earlier. And then thank you, Keo Demon 956. Thank you guys so much for the raids. Thank you for everybody who had stream watch streaks. We had several 3 stream watch streaks. Shaffer Stern with a 15 stream watch streak. Hawk6 Phoenix with 7 stream watch streak. GipsonLens with a 20 stream watch streak. And Random Man 29 with a 55 stream watch streak. Thank you guys. Let's see here. And let's see. Thank you to our mods. So guys, if you're not following our friends and mods, Chan the Magic Man, fellow Twitch magician. Give him a follow. Catch him on Mondays to see Magic Monday. If you catch him other times, you might see him playing video games, cooking, in real life. Lately, he's been showing butterflies growing. So definitely give Chan a follow. Guys, if you're not following our friend and mod, GipsonLens, please give GipsonLens a follow. GipsonLens, pianist, composer, video game developer, movie critic, also the composer of the song that is my Hype Train song, and also is a video game developer at Double Fine that created Keeper, which is one of the tricks that we performed earlier today. And Kagome Shuko says, have you ever rated Zul'Junim, Juanita Cow, Kimari Sky, or 7 Senshi? Yes, I've rated all 4 of them. I have a spreadsheet to prove it, but I do remember rating all of them. Actually, I do remember that Kimari Sky rated me one time with a huge raid, and then I did return the raid, but I think I was just like I was a tiny small fry. But 7 Senshi and Zul'Junim, I know both of them. They know me. Juanita Cow also knows me. I met Juanita Cow in real life as well. So at TwitchCon one year. But yes, no. I do know. We do know. Thank you for the suggestions, though. So, where was I? Oh, yes. If anybody wants to see more of me and I'm not around, so as of right now, I'm mostly only scheduled to do the Sunday streams, but I think after September starts, not next week, but maybe the first full week of September, so the week after that, I will probably be doing more streams during the day, because I'm going to see if I could maybe see if streaming full-time is something that I could do. So we'll see. We'll give it a try. So maybe we'll see more content. Who knows? We'll see. All right. I don't want to promise anything yet. I don't want to disappoint anyway, so we'll see. But yeah, if you want to see more of me, I'm not around. Feel free to check out my YouTube channel. I have over 350 magic tricks. Check me out there. Sorry, I didn't mute in time. Also, if you want to hang out with me or chat, the best way to do that is in the Discord. So come check out the Discord. Also, if you Just want to see when I'm going live. We have a bot that tells the Discord that I'm going live on Twitch. Or if you want to keep up on my YouTube channels and stuff. So there you go. All right, and then other than that, did you get everything? Oh yeah, everything that you saw today was sleight of hand. It's not deals with the devil or sorcery or black magic. It is sleight of hand, blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of practice. And if you still don't believe that, that's okay. Best cover story ever. All right, so let's go ahead and do our finale, and then we will find someone to raid. All right, first things first. I have a bunch of aces in my hand, and I have a deck here, but I just want to show you that the deck is a blue-backed deck, but these aces don't come from this deck. These aces come from a different deck because they are red-backed. So here we have the ace of hearts, ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, ace of spades. Now, with these four aces, I'm going to place them into four different piles, and by the end of the trick, I promise you that all of the aces will be together. And let me just go ahead and place these out as the ace of spades. So here, ace of spades. So for a lot of these tricks, the ace of spades, this is called an ace assembly. And so we're going to try and collect all the aces together by the end of the trick. And the ace of spades, a lot of magicians will call the leader ace because by the end of the trick, that's where all of the aces go. But we're going to go ahead and use a few cards as cover to do our magic because that's just what we do. And so here we have a few cards for each pile. We're going to square up. And then let's go ahead and show you that we have our ace here, and you can still see it. You can still see it until I grab it. Not physically, but metaphysically. And I swap it with a blue card from this pile because now if I show you, there's no blue cards here. And if we take a look, there's no aces either. Now, before we knew that there was one ace in this pile, but now let's take a look. So there's now two in this pile. Once again, let's go ahead and do this. So you can still see the aces here, but if I grab it, not physically, but ethereally, and I swap it with a blue card from here, now if I show you, there's no red-backed cards here, and if we look at them, none of these are aces. Now we knew that there were 2 and 2 in this pile, but if we take a look, now there are 3 red-backed cards and just 1 blue one. Now, you might be thinking, shenanigans are afoot, and to that I would say, you are watching a sleight of hand magic stream. What do you expect? So there's still an ace here, and the thing about this is, if I go ahead and I place this into this packet, you'll still be able to see it from the back because you can see the red card there, and you'll still be able to see it from the front because you can see the ace there. Now, when I do the switch, I'm actually grabbing it, not for real, but magically. And I'll take that last blue card and place it over here. Because now if I show you, there's actually no red backed cards here. They're all blue. And if I show you all of their faces, none of them are aces. And of course, if we go to this pile, I can now show you that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 red back cards, and they are the ace of diamonds, the ace of spades, the ace of clubs, and the ace of hearts. And that, my friends, I will call a successful finale. And we'll find somebody to raid. All right. Thank you kindly for the applause. Shefferstern says, thank you for the stream. You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you kindly for the claps. GipsonLens. Appreciate it. as I said, I do attribute Twitch and chat to like helping me keep my skills sharp. So how many did we do today? 22 tricks today. Only messed up once. Better than 95%. So there we go. That is both good practice for me, just to be a good magician, but now that I'm doing magic gigs, good practice for magic gigs. Keeps my confidence up, keeps my sanity because I get to talk with you guys. We get to have fun topics to talk about. So thank you, everybody. Um, so let's find somebody to raid. Let's see here. Oh, hold on. I see somebody that maybe I don't know if I ever really. Hold on. Have I rated this person before? Let me check. Let me consult with the spreadsheet. If it's not surprising, I have a spreadsheet. Somebody that. Let me see here. This person is not on our spreadsheet. They're doing music right now, it seems. Let me just see what they're up to. Uh, they've been going for an hour and 40. If you ever want to talk theater, it says Kagome Shuko. Alright, guys, I think I might have found a raid target because it's somebody who's doing music. I've never rated them. They've never rated me. Yet I remember seeing them in chats that I used to hang out in. And I don't think they're going to leave right away, so hopefully this will be fine. So, alright, today we're going to be raiding. Let me see here. Boom, raid target. Alright, let's hope they're not leaving. We're going to be raiding Mruvki. So, there's our raid target. So, they're playing piano right now. So, if you want to copy a raid call, there's a raid call there. Here's a sub raid call. I'm going to start the raid here. Let's go over to Mruvki. Alright, so once again, thank you everybody for coming on and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for everybody who enjoyed themselves, and thank you for just coming out to support. Thank you for the lurkers. Thank you to everybody who is still around. Had a great time today, so thank you guys. And then let me see here. So I'm going to make sure that my raid call got copied. Excellent. All right. So, all right, everybody, remember to hydrate, remember to stretch, remember to get good sleep, because as we all know, it's really hard to get good sleep nowadays. And great seeing everybody. Take care. You have a glorious day. Bye.